Now who wanna move crossing on? Now who wanna move out on? If you got stripes and you let the city know you rock 'em, yeah we got 'em, yeah we fought 'em. Like that black and orange up on 'em, single bottle, never stop it. So the beast and know 'em. Who they rockin' with the diamond stripes, flossing on the ring. Cincinnati, she's our queen, we gon' show the world who king. Orange in the day, black in the night. Stripes in our veins, sparks gonna fly. The beast is awake, orange, black and white. Cause when the jungle come alive, who day we ignite in the...
Welcome to Bengals and Brews. I am Del Altman, joined by the BSG, the Big Savage, Greg Luther, and joined by the Mayor of Port Chopolis, Pork Chop, Chris Mertens. What is up, my brothers?
What's happening, man?
It's Friday.
It is. I just woke up. I slept in an extra 15 minutes, man, so I still got a little sleep in my eyes. I apologize.
It's okay.
To everybody in the brew crew for not being at my tip-top best.
Cheers. It's Friday.
Who's on that?
Who's in there? Tina, Ross, Chris, Jerome, Darth, Robert. Who else, man? Now I got to scroll up. I don't want to forget nobody.
Me.
Oh, some guy named StreamYard.
StreamYard's in there.
Yeah. Who day?
Who day indeed.
I guess we'll start with Bengals D coordinator search. We're going to talk a little. Joe Boo's in there. What's up, Joe Boo? We're going to talk a little running backs and the running back room specifically. We'll try to hit all positions and then get into draft guys just a little bit today. We'll do draft shows all the time. But, man, I tell you, man, you know what you got to start out with? What I like to always start out with if I got to go somewhere to eat, Greg?
What is it?
Midwest Best Barbecue.
Hell yeah.
And two sweet announcements. This weekend, it's rib weekend, and it's also shrimp and grits weekend. And also, in honor of the Ohio State game, they're normally not open on Mondays, but they will be open Monday for food for the big game. Go Irish!
I got to get some of them goddamn shrimp and grits.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to get up there and try those.
Yeah, this weekend, it's ribs and shrimp and grits, so we got a double play this weekend.
Man, they're going all out.
Yes. Shout out to Tim and Nicole. And shout out to, and when you go there, wear your Chop Shop t-shirt.
That's right, for a good 0% discount.
Absolutely.
Right.
But you can represent the mayor of Port
right.
Chopolis and the Port Chop
And
Shop.
you'll probably get laid if you're wearing one of those shirts.
Hey, win one for the keeper.
That's
The
right.
Gipper.
Right.
Win one for the Crypt Keeper for Notre Dame.
Absolutely correct.
They might, man. It should be a good game. We'll talk a little bit of that later. Yeah, the shrimp and grits sounds so good, says Tina. She wished she lived a little closer.
It's worth the drive, Tina.
It is worth the drive.
True.
Worth the drive.
No
I don't live
bucks,
close
man.
either. It's like 40 minutes away.
Well, unfortunately, it's only like 10 or 15 minutes for me.
It's like 2 hours away from me. Imagine that.
Right.
Like everything else, right?
Yeah,
like
like
every single thing.
But you
do
do
make plans
to go.
So the report came out that the two finalists, I don't even know if you could call Al Golden a finalist yet because Notre Dame's still playing. So I'm guessing they haven't had a lengthy discussion, but I'm sure there's been a discussion with an agent. I mean, that's just how these things are typically set up. He makes like $2 million. So I'm not saying like Al Golden's the overwhelming favorite. I'm not coming on here and saying that because he's got to come in for the interview. Yes, they know him with the linebacker thing. And obviously if there is interest and he's going to interview, it's at least a possibility. But also Notre Dame, they win the title or they don't win the title. They're going to want that guy back. And I think he just signed an extension like in the fall or last year. So he makes $2 million this year. It's probably going to go up next year. And if he could leverage the Bengals for it to go up even more. I know somebody said he's got a kid starting at Notre Dame. I think I read that in an article.
Yeah.
For next year. So, I mean, there's a lot of reasons that this guy might want to stay at Notre Dame, but he also has a little unfinished business here with the Bengals, being part of that Super Bowl loss as our linebacker coach that, if he came back, I think that'd be a good hire. And then it was also reported that Patrick Graham is the other finalist, and he has he's done pretty well on the defensive side of the ball. Yes, he's had Max Crosby with the Raiders, but at other stops he's looked good. Plus just 15th, and they had a lot of young guys, a lot of injuries that they dealt with last year. Plus that offense was not good. We would take 15th with the offense we have and say we're going to the Super Bowl.
Well, I tell you what, and I looked up Patrick Graham on YouTube, and I saw a clip of this one radio show host talking how very underrated he is. Imagine this. In 51 games he's coached, his defense is given up averagely 20 points or less. Sign me up for that when the Bengals were averaging, over 30 points a game? Sign me up for that. So Patrick Graham, I tell you what, I'll still be happy with Golden, but Patrick Graham, I'm really starting to get sold on big time.
Well, you might as well cash it in, Greg, because it ain't going to happen. If they're going to hire Patrick Graham, it already happened. They're hoping for Al Golden. Otherwise, Patrick Graham would already be our defensive coordinator.
And I stated that on Twitter also, Chop.
Yeah, I think yes and no. I've said that too, but I also think he did get interviewed in Jacksonville. Maybe it's just the Rooney Rule. I hate to ever say that. It's kind of a shitty thing when it's like, well, they've satisfied the Rooney. It shouldn't be like that. Number one, there's plenty of deserving African-American candidates for head coaching jobs.
Yeah.
So I don't want it to seem like that. But, if they still haven't decided and he's in the mix for their head coach job, then that's something obviously you'd wait on a head coach job before you took a defense coordinator job too. So maybe it's both things, Hey, we're going to wait for Al Golden for an interview, but we're still undecided either way after this interview. Plus, they haven't talked financials, I'm sure, with Al Golden and all this stuff. And I think the money is always going to be an issue when you're talking about the Cincinnati Bengals.
But no, Chop, I really do hear what you're saying. And someone even responded to me on Twitter saying, well, he also interviewed for the Jacksonville job. But, yeah, I still think they want to talk with Golden. But, no, I get what you're saying. If they really liked Graham a lot enough, they would have already hired him. So I hear what you're saying. But, we'll see. We'll see. Like, I think it's going to come down to money with Gold. We'll see what happens.
Chop always looks sexy, Jobu. I mean, he really does.
I wake up like this.
And
I literally just woke up.
Pimps too. But yeah. Chop, sometimes that just woke up. Like I woke up next to your sexy ass, man. You still look pretty damn good in the morning.
Well, I wish you would have.
Or the afternoon or whatever,
I wish you would have because I had a boner when I woke up.
You're just taking care of it right then and there, huh?
That's right. Yeah. No, but let's say that we watched the Natty and fucking Ohio State just fucking boat races Notre Dame. Yeah. Ohio State just boat races Notre Dame, and then the Bengals announce Al Golden is our new defensive coordinator. And Cincinnati Bengal fans, the majority of them, love Ohio State for some fucking reason. I have no idea. But someone bought some shit. But anyway, man, the fans aren't going to like Al Golden if that happens, right?
I don't think it'll happen, and they're a top 10 defense. They have one of the best pass defenses. I don't think that they're going to boat race them. I think it's going to be a good game. But, yeah, that I'd be lying if I said I haven't said the same thing, Chop. That would be such a Bengals thing that Ohio State wins by 40 against Notre Dame, just puts up all these points, and then the next day, 2 days later, well, that defense coordinator is now the Bengals defense coordinator.
No, Chop, a friend of mine brought that up with me too today. That is interesting.
Oh, look who bought a shirt. It was Matt.
The most loyal guy in the world.
Oh, yeah. That's my number one customer right there, Matt. I appreciate that. Go ahead and kids can eat this week.
What's up, Scarlet Arrow?
What's going on, fellas? OH.
Go Irish.
Go Irish.
Go Tigers.
I mean, I'm obviously rooting for the Buckeyes, but
Rudy.
I gotta, I can't get too excited. So got one more. Got to handle business, and I think it'll be a good game. Marcus Freeman's a good coach. That's Al Golden's a good coach, obviously, and they've had some injuries they've dealt with too. Two of their best players on defense, Benjamin Morrison at corner and Riley Mills at D tackle, are out for the season, injured. Morrison's been out this whole time. Mills got hurt like first playoff game.
Have we heard anything on JTT yet?
No, he's gonna play. I mean, shit.
Yeah,
he played. He came back in and finished it. He was running down the field on Sawyer's return, after the injury. So
Derek and Dale, I was talking to an Ohio State friend of mine, and he still says he would get rid of Ryan Day because of the losses to Michigan. What's your guys' take on that? I'm like, are you kidding me? But what's your guys' take on that?
Well, we talked about it on the way up to the game, fresh off the Ohio State loss. Derek's brother went to the Ohio State game and then was going to the Bengals game with us. And we were talking about that on the way up, like, well, if Ryan Day wins a championship, to still want to fire him. It's like, hell no. But even getting here, honestly, in the way they've got here and the teams they've gone through with their seeding, his job is 100% safe. I mean, I don't even think it's a question. So, and I think people got to stop hating on him. He's a good coach. for his sake, I hope they finish it out and win a championship, because otherwise he's still going to hear a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah. I think conversations will be had because, all of the alumni, all the people that are pouring the money into Ohio State are not happy with the Michigan loss. Conversations will be had, but I don't think
It's
it's
so
jobs.
fucking crazy, man. That you guys are probably going to win the Natty, but everybody's like, we're so pissed Michigan fucking beat us. Fuck that guy. I know we won the Natty, but we lost against Michigan.
No,
Fuck
if
that
you
guy.
win the Natty, there's no conversation. If you lose in the Natty, there'll be a conversation.
Yeah.
Maybe. Like, it depends to how you look.
Regardless, you're in it.
I know. I think he's good. And it's a new playoff format where the Buckeyes had to win 3 straight games to get to the
my buddy was telling me, the Texas is not a good team. Texas, how many players Texas is like right there with the Ohio State getting all these high-notch players? I mean,
4.
Come on.
Texas is a very good team. Texas ranked number 1 most of the year. Texas, honestly, man, that's why I was not like confident about that game, because Texas and Oregon was the 2 best teams in my opinion for the
There you
majority
go.
of the
Dream
season.
scenario, right?
Ryan
for all you Ohio State fans. OH.
Yeah. No, I think Ryan Day is good where he's at. Just win the title, get it done, and
I mean, also, I'm
glad we're just starting out with Ohio State. 15 minutes in, got all this stuff planned. Try to talk defense coordinator. Go and talk Bengals running backs, and all we've talked about is Ohio State.
Now let me just ask you guys, because you're Ohio State fans, does Ryan Day has he got a like a sponsorship with that Just for Men shit where you dye your beard? Because that shit ain't real, is it? That's dyed, right? Or shoe polish or something on his beard. Huh?
I'm 36 years old and I got a little salt and pepper action going on. 35, 36.
Well, you're so fucking old,
so
Derek.
I'm somewhere around there.
You better start getting some of them Viagra pills.
The weirdest thing about Ryan Day is Marissa's like, he's got like dead eyes, like demon looking eyes.
Yeah.
And she finds him super attractive. I'm like, what is wrong with you? You think this guy has demon eyes and it makes you horny?
Man.
I don't know, man. Yeah, it's a fun fact.
Man, I need something to make Sarah horny. Not your Sarah,
Me
though,
too.
Derek. Yeah.
Maybe you guys need them to look at Ryan Day.
That's a good idea.
Look at him deep in his eyes, and they'll fall in love because he's the fucking devil. And
look into my eyes.
Yeah. All right, running back room.
Oh yeah,
let's get to topic of the day. We try to at least talk about the topic I set it as, even though sometimes I never know what I'm going to set the topic as. To be fair, because it's this show. We talk about a lot of things each and every day. And if you're here a lot, you know that. But you got to set it as something.
I fucking didn't know until I logged into the StreamYard. I saw the title. I was like, oh shit, running backs.
Yeah. So Bengals running back rooms
planning.
Bengals running back rooms specifically. So, we're talking Travion Henderson. Steve's still mine on the Buckeyes. Travion Williams, free agent. Khalil Herbert, free agent. Zach Moss, neck injury. Will he be cut? There's a lot of question marks. Kendall Milton, we didn't see enough of to really know what we have with him. And then Chase Brown, who had a phenomenal season as both a running back and a pass catcher. Also, high ankle sprain, but he should be fine, obviously, by camp and stuff. Shit, he was going to try to play the final game.
If we were in it, he'd be playing.
Yeah, if we would have made the playoffs, I'm sure he would have went out there and tried to play for sure. So we can say running back number 1, because I always think you got to have at least 3. Some years you'll have 4, but let's just try to talk about, we're trying to get 3 running backs to fill out this room. Right. We've got really 1 that we are sure about will even be on this roster next year, and that's Chase Brown, and he is running back 1. Does anybody have an argument that we should bring in somebody to be running back 1 that's not named Chase Brown?
Nope. I did see I saw one of those things about possible targets in the draft for the Bengals, and they said, it had Ashton Denty on there. And I'm like, nope.
No.
I mean, Genty's awesome, but we don't fucking need him.
We have other needs that are more pressing, and Chase Brown is damn good.
Am I wrong in thinking he's going top 10?
I
can
don't
see
know,
it.
man. It's hard for running backs to go top 10. I know Bijan did, and then I know Jameer Gibbs went 12th, but it's never a sure thing.
Isn't
Saquon went
Genty's
second, but a
better
lot of
than-
years
I can see him going
there's
top
no
10.
running back in the first.
Didn't
I can
Genty
definitely
have a
see him
better
going
year
top
than
10.
Bijan?
Huh?
Genty had a better year than Bijan did, didn't he?
Yeah, and I
he
mean,
went top
Genty can
10.
catch the ball, but you didn't necessarily see it. But Bijan's a freak show, man. And they see the difference in the stats. And I don't even think it should be like this, honestly, in college,
Right.
but I get it. You're Boise State, so Genty's going to just carry the
Yeah.
load. But Texas got 3-4 guys. They're putting 2-3 guys in NFL. He had Roshan Johnson. Remember how much we liked him?
Yeah.
That was there with Bijan too. So if you just look at the stats on the surface, that's one thing. But you look at the talent of Bijan as a two-way running back, receiving and rushing. Man, he is phenomenal, and he deserved to go as high as he did. But I think Genty's in that conversation. But there's a lot of really good defensive talent in this draft. I think Genty falls out of the top 10, Derek, but I don't think he falls too far out of the top 10. You know, I think he's still a top 20 pick probably, but it wouldn't surprise me if he ends up 25 or something.
Okay.
I'll be damned.
I just see that a team like I'm trying to think of who all is in the top 10, but you know, there's some teams that.
Well, you're always going to have a couple quarterbacks that probably don't
Yeah.
deserve to be top 10 picks, top 10 picks. So you're going to have a couple quarterbacks. You got Abdul Carter, Mason Graham, Travis Hunter, Will Howard, back to Ohio State. Will Johnson from Michigan, who was injured at the end of the year. So a couple corners, Jalen Walker, who's a linebacker, but he's going to be an edge. I could see him getting into the top 10. He's an explosive dude. He's like Abdul Carter, who played linebacker before edge full time. Anyways, back to the running backs.
Boom.
So I guess you're talking about filling it out. So maybe you got Kendall Milton. Greg, I'll let you talk first because I know how much you like Kendall Milton. And I've got him, I got running back 2, question mark. Same thing for running back 3. But I got Milton, maybe Khalil Herbert, who's a free agent that you could sign back. And then I guess with Zach Moss, just for me, I think he's cut, and you just couldn't rely on him with the neck injury. So what are your thoughts on those 3 things? On Zach Moss, on Kendall Milton, and Khalil Herbert. We'll start with those 3 things for running backs.
Zach Moss, you can't control injuries, but I'm just, ready to move on pretty much. He did okay, but when we finally let Chase Brown get number 1 reps, it's just, took off after that. Khalil Herbert, you know what? The Steelers game, he started out slow, but he slowly started getting better. I'm opening up for Khalil Herbert coming back. I'm not going to get nervous if we don't get him back or anything. And, Kendall Milton, one of my Yoshi players, but I don't look at him as number 2, though. Even if we get him back, he is not a number 2, and I'm fine with that. But
I guess number 2 for me would be we'd say we need a more short yardage guy, and he is bigger. Yep. That is the only thought of. It's not necessarily he would be your true number 2, but he'd probably be your number 3 with the caveat of he's your short yardage guy.
Yes, and in the draft, you can find a running back later rounds. Tyrone Tracy, who I wanted, was a 6th-round pick. I'd be just as cool as finding someone in the 6th round. But if we get Herbert back, I'm not going to be upset at all or anything. But I'm in no rush to get Herbert back. Let's put it that way.
And Zach Moss, I guess maybe I should have done this one at a time. Zach Moss, I know we talked about the cap saving show last week, but $3.5 million you could save toward the cap by cutting this guy, and with the neck injury and the emergence of Chase Brown. I think Moss is gone. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
I think he's
first.
Gone.
Yeah, if the doctors evaluate him and everything's cool with the neck and all that, I don't mind keeping Zach Moss. He didn't play bad for us. The neck injury sucks, but he didn't play bad for us. The problem with Zach Moss is that Chase Brown was coming out there and playing less than 50% of the snaps. That's not going to happen next year. If we keep, no matter who we keep in the running back room, next year Chase Brown is clearly the number 1 running back, and he's going to get the majority of the snaps. So if you're going to compliment him with Zach Moss, I don't give a fuck. You're going to compliment him with Khalil Herbert, I don't give a fuck. You're going to compliment him with Kendall, what's his name, Milton, I don't give a fuck. It's the compliment to Chase Brown. As far as the Kendall guy, we haven't seen him, but Khalil Herbert and Zach Moss, we got a better taste of what Zach Moss could do. So as long as they're a compliment to Chase Brown, I don't give a shit which one it is, to be honest. You
Yeah,
have a
and somebody
preference?
asked about Travion Williams being a free agent. Yeah, he'll be a free agent. I think Chris Evans will be a free agent. And look at the injuries to that room.
Chris Evans is still
Zach
on the
Moss.
team.
Yeah, I mean, technically,
Shut
yeah,
the
he went on
fuck up.
IR, so he was
Oh,
still
he's on the
I
IR.
think maybe he was cut.
He
When
finds
went
a
on the
way
IR. I
every
don't know.
year.
Derek, your thoughts on Zach Moss and if he's on this team next year? $3.3 million toward the cap savings. That's decent chunk. That's Khalil Herbert money, in my opinion.
Well, I was about to say, I think it all depends on if Khalil wants to stay or not. If I think that he'll still be on the roster when it comes time for free agency, and I think they'll try to re-sign Khalil, and then if he ends up re-signing, that's when they'll cut Zach Moss. Because I think it'll
that's a
be
smart way to do
between
it.
the two of those guys for the running back 2 position.
Yeah, and I'd feel good about Herbert. I mean, we saw what he could do against the Steelers. So I think if you can get Herbert for, let's just say you can sign him for maybe $2.5 million with incentives, and you save $3.5 million by cutting Zach Moss. I would do that. I would roll with Chase Brown and Herbert, but you still are going to need a short yardage, and we'll get to that third down guy. Would you guys be good with that plan? If you could get Herbert for $2.5 million with escalators or something, maybe even 3 with big escalator. You win the Super Bowl, you get an extra $500,000. Everybody gets a $500,000.
Fuck it.
If you win the Super Bowl.
Right.
I always put those escalators in.
Yeah. Escalate over here.
So we'll kick this back off with you, Greg. If we're thinking Herbert or Moss as 2, and then I'll still talk some free agents that could also fit that role. But how would you feel if it's behind Chase Brown as Khalil Herbert? Because I'm kind of out on Zach Moss. I just say Moss is out.
You don't say.
Yeah, you're muted.
Someone muted me. Yeah, I don't know what happened. But
Derek's
probably was Derek.
Yeah.
No,
I would have no problem if it's Khalil Herbert. Like I said, the Steelers game, we saw him slowly get better and better, and I'm totally fine if it's Khalil Herbert as my number 2. But I would still be open to finding another running back in the draft. But considering the fact right now we have 6 draft picks and there's just so many other needs, I would be perfectly fine if Khalil Herbert's my number 2. I'd have no issue with that.
You remember when you took your number 2 at the Presbyterian Church?
All the time.
Hell yeah.
That was the number 3, actually, in my opinion.
Fuck right it was. It's number 3.5.
Yes, it was. And then I puked when I got home.
Boom. What was the question?
Yeah. Are you cool? Are you cool with Khalil Herbert as your number 2, Chop?
Oh, well, I went over that last time. I'm cool with Khalil Herbert, and I'm cool with Zach Moss, too. Whichever one. I mean, I guess the neck injury concerns me with Zach Moss, but that's about it. They're going to pay either guy about the same amount, right? I mean, either guy is going to cost about the same amount. If they take the money away from Zach Moss and give it to Khalil Herbert, it's the same. So I don't know which one I prefer. I saw a bigger sample out of Zach Moss.
I guess why we're on running back 2 before we go to running back 3, because I think the running back 3 conversation is, can Kendall Milton earn that role, as we talked about a little bit already. And then I think that's when I'll start maybe talking about some of these guys in the draft that could fit that role. Let's talk free agents that are out there. So this is SB Nation's top 10 list of free agents for next year. I also got some SPO track information for their projected average annual values for what a contract might look like, which will tell you they're not really wouldn't be signed as number 2 guys here with this money. The first one being Najee Harris from the Steelers. In theory, that sounds good, right? You got Chase Brown, Najee Harris. You could make that work. You know what doesn't sound good? His projected salary of $9.2 million a year. So we'll just start there with Najee Harris. I'm out if he's getting $9-10 million a year.
Here's why I'm out, Najee Harris. Brown. He did good against one team, the Bengals. So that's useless right there. Out.
Here's why I'm out on Najee Harris. Fuck the Steelers. Fuck them. Go ahead, Derek.
Both good reasons.
Fuck Steelers.
Yeah, I think Najee's just a guy. I don't really see, I don't think he's worth $9 or $10 million.
That money, that SPO track, and listen, it's just a projection. It doesn't mean he'll get it.
Right.
But the fact that that's the projection, I was surprised. I was like, what? 9.2 a year? I was like, hell no. But I wanted to mention it because he was number 1 on their list.
And he better cash that fucking check real fast if he gets it, right?
But so that's where we're starting, though, is he's the number one on the free agent list from this SB Nation list. Number 2 is Aaron Jones, who was with the Vikings this year after being with the Packers for several years. And his projected average annual value is $5.6 million per. That's a little more reasonable, and I think Aaron Jones is still pretty damn good.
Yeah.
I
was just about to say that seems like it's way low for Aaron Jones. My opinion. I thought he played well this year.
He is getting older.
He is getting older, but I just feel like he's still got a lot of tread on them tires because of the injuries that he's had and the limited amount of snaps that he's played.
I mean, that was the same. Well, it wasn't limited snaps. Oh, are you talking like he doesn't have a lot of miles?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were saying he's got a lot of miles.
Because he was, or no, that's not. Who's the guy I'm thinking of that played for Green Bay before?
AJ Dillon, who's also on this list.
That's the guy I was thinking of.
He didn't get very many carries because of Aaron Jones in Green Bay.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what the hell he did this year or where even he was, but he's still on this list. He's at number 9. So Aaron Jones?
I'm still out.
$6 million, older guy. I don't think that would be the guy, but
yeah. I'm out because I like what we got. I like what we got. We
have Chase Brown and nothing.
We got Chase Brown and I'm okay. So I like what we got. We re-signed one of our guys. I mean, we already got Zach Moss signed, but Khalil Herbert or Zach Moss are good with me with Chase Brown because I just want Chase Brown. The compliment is, if I'm going to get a compliment, I need a fucking monster guy that can get me 1 yard.
But
every fucking time.
We saw Chase Brown get hurt, and listen, that was kind of a freak thing. It's not because of the wear and tear, and he carried the load at Illinois a lot. But we saw him get hurt. I don't want any running back getting 80, 90% of the snaps, period. Right. I didn't like that with Joe Mixon. When he's getting 70 to 80 is too high to me. I want a 60, 30, 10 would be in a perfect world for me. Like my number one guy gets 60%, and that's Chase Brown all day long. Mm-hmm. Now I need a guy that can get me 30% of the snaps. And then I want a third guy who can get me 10%. Maybe he's just a short yardage guy. But next guy on this list, big name, too many injuries. I would probably pass, but Nick Chubb.
Yeah, you can't.
Man, that dude, it's the injuries. You're right.
There's no average annual value that was listed for him.
He's been getting hurt more. So I don't. Man, it's hard to pay. We'll say no, and then he re-signs in Cleveland and get fucking 1,500 yards, but still, it's a huge injury history.
How many seasons has he played a full season? If you got that offhand, Dale.
I mean, I feel like he was fairly healthy. And then just the back-to-back injuries as you're getting older at running back, it would be tough. But hey, if Nick Chubb said, I want to stick it to the Browns, they didn't offer me a contract, and I'll come in here for a vet minimum. Nick Chubb, you are running back too. Let's go.
Yep. You know what? I'm bringing my friend Myles Garrett. Let's go.
Because from everything you hear about the guy, he's a great guy. Like he's a great team leader. So if you could get him for super cheap, I'm not ruling it out. But I'm not paying Nick Chubb $4 or $5 million even. Just not.
Yeah. No. What kills me is how explosive Chase Brown is, and you would love that in the red zone, but our red zone opportunities this year, I feel like we ended up kicking a lot of field goals because we wasn't being able to punch the ball in. So you definitely want a guy with the big body like Nick Chubb for that.
We have talked Cam Skattebo a lot. And we will talk more about him. But yes, I love Cam Skattebo too. You brought him up like 40 times.
Right. So but Dale, did you know that in 1965 Notre Dame changed their mascot from the Irish Terrier to the Fighting Leprechaun? Dude, see today? The one you see today? Did you know that, Dale?
No, I didn't. Thank you for the fun fact, Crip. Thank you for the fun fact, Crip.
Yeah, that's right. Fun facts by Crip. Yep. Oh, I couldn't get rid of it. There we go.
All right, next guy on the list. I don't think this one's realistic either, and the injury history is real. J.K. Dobbins. and it did have projected average annual value of $7.3 million per year. There's no way I could pay him $7 million a year with the injury history.
That's
Speaking,
I was going to say, speaking of not having a single healthy season, I don't think this guy has it all.
I mean, I know Aaron Jones is older, but you mean to tell me that Aaron Jones is supposed to make less than Dobbins? Absolutely not.
No.
Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, that one's easy. I figured that'd be quick. Rico Dowdle for the Cowboys. I think that's a sneaky good one. There's no average annual value. I could see somebody paying him a chunk of change there to bring him in just because he's still young, and he looked pretty good for Dallas this year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's a fit here because I think you're bringing him in almost to be a number one. I don't really see him necessarily as taking the money to be a number two at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. With the salary that you're saying on some of these guys, it almost sounds like number one salary versus coming in here and being a compliment to Chase.
Yeah. I mean you got to think what did Zach Moss get? $5 or $6 million? You know, he was kind of brought in similar way. Like he was, and they gave him those snaps, which is also a reason I don't want, like, there's no reason to do it with Chase Brown.
Yeah. I think they're going to go with what they got. They might bring someone into camp or something, like an undrafted free agent, something like that.
Well, you were taking the whole fun out of the show. Just like, I'm going through these lists, chopping. You're just like cutting everything down. You're like, no, I've already said Chase Brown and Khalil Herbert, and then we'll draft somebody. Or
what about Saquon Barkley?
No,
is going to be a free agent?
Over. Top's unspoken.
No, but that being said, you know, I'm good with what we got. Go ahead.
Jesus Christ. Greg, any thoughts on Rico Dowdle?
Nah, not really, no. I mean,
all right, next guy, Javonte Williams, number 6 overall on this top 10 list of theirs. His projected average annual value for Spotrac is almost $7 million. And he is not that good. He's supposed to be good. You keep wanting him to be good. He has some good games, but for the Broncos, he is just not that good. They have the 3 other running backs that end up outperforming him late in the season.
The only reason I would want this guy is just for his post-game press conferences, post-game interviews alone. I mean, this guy is one of the most hilarious interviews that you'll ever hear in your entire life, but not for $7 million.
What he said?
He's on there talking about Pokemon. He's on there talking. I mean, he talks all kinds of crazy shit.
Are you even sure that's the same guy?
Yeah, he used to play for. The guy that he used to play for, he was drafted in Detroit.
No, you're thinking of a whole. Javonte Williams is the guy for the Broncos.
Jamal Williams, sorry.
Yeah. Javonte Williams is the guy for the Broncos.
Yeah.
He's been the Broncos no, he was drafted out of North Carolina, like 2nd or 3rd round, and he has never done shit in the NFL. Like, very inconsistent. You being a fantasy gambling guy, how do you not know Javonte Williams' name? Because he's had to cost you a fantasy game here or there.
Well, this is probably why Derek's not sitting in a Bentley right now,
him.
And he's driving home from work. If he was successful at the gambling, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's true.
He wouldn't be on his way home from work.
The next 2 I don't even think are really worth talking about on their list because they're restricted free agents. But I'll let Derek especially answer this one. Jordan Mason, that's with the 49ers, and then Jaylen Warren with Pitt. Obviously, I like both of those guys, but they're restricted free agents. So,
yeah, I feel like Jaylen Warren, he's a Steeler. There's no way you let that guy go. And then Jordan Mason, I feel like he's more of a product of the system that they're in.
Yeah, that's true.
It just seems like every single freaking running back that plays in that system gets 100 yards a game every time they get a chance to play.
Anybody else got thoughts on either of those guys? They're both restricted.
Like Derek said, Warren's a steal, but I tell you what, if it came down between Warren and Harris, I would take Warren over Harris in a heartbeat.
And I think that's like the Steelers should want that too. I think they still need another running back if Najee leaves, but Warren, I mean, I like him better than Najee. Like I have for 2 years.
Easily. And value-wise, I mean, come on.
And then Najee was 1st round pick, wasn't he, Najee?
Yes. 2nd round, wasn't he?
First or second,
Greg-
I can't
I think
remember.
it was late first.
I thought he might have
Greg
went
was-
like pick. I can't remember. They've had so many damn running backs that go into like that.
Was Jalen Warren? Was he the UC guy?
No, UK guy.
No, you're
though.
thinking of Jerome
UK,
Ford.
that's where he
Warren's
was.
out of
Yeah.
Pitt. I remember he's out of Pitt because our guy T-Robe, that's a Steelers fan.
Oh,
he also
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah, yeah.
back at Pitt, and Jalen Warren's out of Pitt.
He played
So
up
he
there
was-
before Abracadabra, whatever that
Trump,
guy's name is.
He
Abadabra.
was the first round pick. He went number 24 in 2021.
Yep.
Who was the UC guy that I'm thinking of?
Jerome
Ford.
Ford.
Got
Ford.
Jerome Ford. That's
He
it.
plays
That's
for
it.
Cleveland.
Yeah.
For Cleveland, yeah.
He actually didn't do too bad this year. You know what Nick Chubb out.
Yeah, and last year too, he stepped up and played pretty good, and he's still
I
a young
like
guy.
Jerome.
They still got him on the roster. Like he might be their starter next year coming into the
Yeah, I
season.
just wish he wasn't on Cleveland.
AJ Dillon's
Yeah.
on this list. AJ Dillon to me would be like, okay, you're bringing him in to be a running back 3. We're at 9 on this list out of their top
Hey.
10.
He's number 28, and his name's Dillon. Sign me up. Bring AJ Dillon here.
So
Right.
I want this guy. I don't know if you've seen it or not. Everybody when everybody's talking about the quads and everything, he's another one of those quad top guys. And that's a guy that I would love to have for like Dale was talking about, a short yardage back,
Yeah.
because he's just got the power. And I feel like he would be a good guy in that role.
Yeah, vet man, running
Yeah.
back 3. I'm good with AJ Dillon, but other than that, hell no, I ain't counting on him.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
No, it wouldn't be. I'm just saying, I would not complain if I saw number 28 with the name Dillon on the back again.
Also, Greg, you wouldn't be 28 here because that's Newton. So when he came here, he wouldn't be 28.
Well, he'll pay off Newton.
Yeah, I'm sure because he's got payoff money.
Yeah, with his vet minimum
Yeah.
deal. That
Right.
That minimum deal.
And the last guy on this list is a familiar name, and we'll see how he does in the playoffs. But he still got something as a third down role, and he was a former Bengal, Samaje Perine.
Yep.
Did you know that Samaje Perine still holds the record for like the most yards in any fucking college game? I was looking it up the other day.
Oh yeah, that Oklahoma man. He pulled
Yeah,
out that
Samaje
game.
Perine holds the record in college football for the most yards in one game.
What would
Look, I'll
be?
say this.
And this would be another guy. We're talking running back 3. You know.
Yeah.
I would not be opposed to Samaje coming back. I don't think that the Bengals retread that, but
Yeah.
I would. Hey, Samaje was good for us. I like Samaje. So
I like
Samaje.
Samaje more than Joe Mixon. I was a bigger
Samaje.
Samaje Perine fan. than
Samaje.
Joe
plus we would get to hear Jeff say Samaje all the time again.
That's true. That's true.
I
Samaje.
liked Perine more than Joe Mixon. I was a bigger fan of Perine just because of what he can do at times and all that. He came in big for us in clutch situations. But like Jeff said, I think they want to try to stay young at running back, but I wouldn't be against it.
No, I think there would have been interest this year, you know, and then
Yeah.
the Chiefs might bring him back depending on what happens and everything. But you know, Ryan says, "Give me P. Ryan and a day 3 pick." We'll get into the draft guys here in a minute. But
Yeah.
that's not a bad idea. A day 3 pick that could be a running back 2, and then P. Ryan's your number 3. And listen, P. Ryan's probably going to be on the field if you sign him. You can call him a running back 3, a running back 4, a running back whatever. They liked him on special teams here.
Yes.
They also trusted him to be on the field on third down because we pass the ball a lot for pass protection and an outlet for Joe Burrow in the pass game. Now, I know Chase Brown will get some of that, as he should, even on third down, especially receiving. But P. Ryan, I don't know. P. Ryan still makes sense to me. Him being on this list, as Bengals fans, it makes sense. Plus, we know how the Bengals love their connections.
Well, but veteran presence too. Yeah, you know.
Well, not only that, but you get guy like Samaje Perine coming back, and maybe it's good for the locker room to see a guy that left and comes back to the Bengals. You know, like grass ain't always greener, fellas.
Yeah,
You know,
I'll say this: if my running back room is Brown, Herbert, and Perine, I'm happy with that right there.
Yeah, that would be without a draft pick. So way
I
to
would like
kill,
that.
way to kill that. But yeah, I would be good with that too.
But no. But I'm just saying. I'm not saying I'm saying I'd be cool with that.
No, I would too, because I think Herbert showed that he could be the feature guy. I don't want Samaje to ever have to come in and be my feature guy.
right?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
I want him in his specific role, you know, as that third.
We know he can block.
guy.
He can block. He can catch. He can do everything you ask him to do.
And he's got continuity with Joe Burrow already.
Yes.
I mean,
Exactly.
2 years removed, but I'm sure he'd slide right back in there.
So, Derek, any thoughts on P. Ryan? And then I'll just mention like some other free agents on this list to see if any of them catch you guys' name.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. Like you guys said, he won't get very many snaps, but I'd be okay with having him.
Yeah,
I'm kind of in the point where I'm basically just sitting there thinking I would be okay with Chase Brown and Khalil.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
and as you go through this list, that's the thing. It makes you say, well, the Bengals almost should prioritize Khalil Herbert just based on what we've seen. And you put 7th round draft capital. It seems like a Bengals thing, right? Like, hey, we would want to bring you back as long as. And I don't see him getting a big deal. I just don't.
No.
He wasn't doing anything with the Bears, and he didn't do anything here until that last game. I don't think somebody's going to break the bank.
Right.
And Khalil Herbert provides you special teams value. He makes a ton of sense.
And
No,
I
I'm
always
yeah,
remember Khalil Herbert's first play as a Bengal.
Go ahead, Greg.
Fondly.
You were talking.
No, Dale, now that you mentioned, I would now. Is he up there with Gesicki getting re-signed or like T Higgins?
Well, it's
No,
different
but-
money. It's different
money. But I'm just saying, now that you mentioned it, Dale, yeah, it'd be nice to get it done right before free agency starts. Yeah, one less thing to worry about.
Well, there'll be a lot
tell
of
you,
years when free agency starts and Cody Ford will be one of the first signings. It's not a big name. But it's for low money because those are easier to get done. Drew Sample gets a 3-year, $9 million deal early and free. You know what I mean?
Right,
you see this a lot with the Bengals because they're like, we're working on the big money things, but also this guy we can get back for basically nothing. So let's just get that done. We see that a lot early in free agency, and I could see Khalil Herbert being one of those guys.
I could also see Khalil being a guy where they lowball him and tell him, hey, go out there and see if you can get anything better. And no team is willing to pay for him, and so he ends up coming back.
Yeah, see what they offer you. Come back to us. You get $2 million per year, 2-year deal, $4 million, 2 years, $5 million. I'd match that though at that money.
Yeah,
like easily.
Maybe make him an offer and also tell him, or you can test the market and see. Like instead of just go test the market, go ahead and throw a number out there. Maybe he likes playing for the Bengals. Maybe he likes playing for the best quarterback in the league. Maybe he sees the potential of a ring. So tell the guy, hey, we're going to give you $2.5 million, or we'll go ahead and respect it. You can test the open market, but we'd also like if you come back to us, right?
Yes, that's a great point. And I think, too, if he came back, now he's earned more trust with Burrow and the coaching staff. So if Brown is dinged up or Brown can't play, they know they can thrust him into that starting role. And like with the Bears last year, he had no chance to be the number 2 even. And if he would be coming in as our number 2 right away, I think that's a great situation for him, knowing this is an off. And, hey, we're going to get you on the field more. You will be on the field more than you were when it was just Chase Brown getting 80-90% of the reps after we traded for you. We now trust you and seen what you can do, and you'll have more time in the offseason to get this chemistry with Burrow. So now we're putting you on the field a lot more. So I think him knowing, hey, we want to re-sign you as our number 2 back would be huge because no one's signing him to be their number 1.
No.
Why not go to a place that wanted you, that traded for you, that will say you're our number 2. I think it makes a lot of sense.
Dale, now that you really mentioned it, yes, it does make a lot of sense. Even though there won't be maybe that much of a market, it'd be nice just to get Herbert secure because, like you said, we've seen enough from him later in the season. So, Dale, I'm really now all for that.
Don't let anybody test the market that we possibly want to keep. Make them an offer.
Give him an offer. Yeah.
Don't I know we're talking running backs, but like T. Higgins, make him an offer. Don't let him just test the market. T. Higgins tests the market.
You tag him. You don't let him test the market.
He's going to get tempted by that fucking money if he tests the market.
Gesicki,
exactly.
Another good example would be Gesicki. If you let Gesicki test the market, oh my God.
Yeah, if you give him a number he's comfortable with.
Yeah.
It's all right, Greg, because we're getting Kyle Pitts,
that's
right?
a different discussion, yeah.
But, I feel a lot better about the running back room already if Herbert comes back quick because then, free agency's before the draft. Then the draft comes. Guess what? Maybe on day 3 you get a guy you didn't expect to fall. Mm-hmm. And maybe that guy ends up being better than Herbert and beats him out as the number 2. But Herbert's already under contract. So now Herbert's basically your number 3 and a kick returner because he's good at kick returning too.
Exactly. What's wrong with that? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So then you've got a great running back room. So it's not saying Herbert's 100% penciled in at the number 2, but the time you sign him, he is.
Yeah.
Because
I mean,
for the draft.
as far as running backs go, too, like this is a passing offense. That is our identity as Joe Burrow. Our identity is not running backs, you know. So, hey, D-Rick. Where'd he go?
A Confederate gray jacket. I don't have a Confederate gray jacket. This is the Bengals and Brews.
No, Derek's wearing one.
White.
Derek's got.
Oh, Derek, D-Rick.
That's because to get into the gated community.
Confederate gray jacket. Yeah, they hand those out for Derek's gated community.
Yeah, and Derek's gated community.
If you've been there over 5 to 10 years, you get one of those.
Right, not a sticker.
Because that means they haven't burnt your house down and ran you out.
That's correct. Oh man!
All right, some other free agent names: Deontay Foreman, Cam Akers, Travis Homer, Zeke, Naheem Hines, Amir Abdullah, Alexander Madison. That's some other free agent running backs. Any of those catch your attention? We'll start with you, Derek, and kick it over to chopping up to Greg.
Naeem Hines does a little bit just because of, and maybe he's too old now, but I remember his 4 touchdown game he had in Indy, and 2 of those touchdowns were returners, so you got the return juice there.
Yeah, he's been injured a lot, I feel like, the last couple. But, yeah, that name's Alexander Madison was the other for me. But go ahead, Chop.
I mean, none of them really do anything for me, but I guess I would go with Zeke just for Greg because he's my friend, and I know he would love to hashtag Zeke Natty again.
Yeah, I was going to say, man, Zeke, 2 years ago, Dale, I was all for it, man. But, now, sorry, Zeke.
I mean, did he do too bad last year, though?
Did anybody sign him?
Didn't he go back to
the
the Cowboys?
Chargers?
I went back to the Cowboys.
Yeah,
he's
the Chargers.
He's
no,
at
the
Chargers
Cowboys
now?
released him, Greg. The Cowboys released him to catch on with the playoff team.
Oh,
Chargers signed him, and then, Justin Herbert sucks.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm sorry, Zeke. If this was a year or 2 ago, maybe, but sorry, buddy.
Zeke Natty, hashtag. Let's go.
Zeke, R.I.P. Zeke Natty.
Yeah. Cam Akers is the low-key guy on that list for me, Derek.
Yeah, he's a low-key, yeah.
Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I like Cam. He's I don't know. That's another guy I haven't really heard much from him in the past couple of years.
Yeah.
Nope.
All right, so we've decided. I'm just going to circle Herbert here on my running back 2. I think Kendall Milton. I don't even think he's I think Kendall Milton's a practice squad. If he does great. We'll keep 4 running backs on the active roster.
Right.
But you are not guaranteed anything, Kendall Milton, period.
Yep.
So we still need a third running back, whether we brought back, maybe it's P. Ryan, right? We said if we get Herbert and P. Ryan, we could live with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if we don't, we want to draft somebody because I don't think you can ever go wrong drafting a day 3 running back, especially in this running back class. On average, 20 running backs get drafted over the last 10 years. I do this. This is what I do.
Yeah.
I have calculated all this stuff. I go back and look at the draft classes. I look at where guys get drafted, how many get drafted at each position. And 20 get drafted. I got 27 on my board, and that's not to mention other guys that I could have on my board. I know my guy Ryan Sparks here. He's got, I think he said 30-some the other day. And that's just a lot, right? But you're also going to have your undrafted guys that can make it. You see it every year. So, but 27 guys I feel good about that could get drafted. So I will literally start at the top. Ashton Genty is my running back 1. Okay, we're not taking a guy that early. We all agree on that?
No.
Nope.
Yeah.
Amarian Hampton from North Carolina is number 2 on my list, man. He is big, and he's put up 15. He's had to do everything for North Carolina. They sucked this year. They had Drake May the year before. But both years he put up 1,500 rushing yards each year. That's pretty good, huh? That's pretty good? Yeah, dude is a very good player. But I don't see that as a fit for the because you'd have to take this kid. Best case scenario, he falls to 49. You'd have to take him. I could see him going before 49 easily. But are you guys taking a running back at 49?
Absolutely
No.
No.
So we'll move on quickly. Caleb Johnson, I think similar thing. Iowa had a great season. Another guy that obviously would fit great on the Bengals to pair with Chase Brown, but not going to take him. Next guy on my list, and maybe not everybody's, is Travion Henderson. He might fall to the third round. If he was there in the third, I would have to consider him if he was there at the Bengals' third round pick.
Dude, Dale, he's been tearing it up for the Buckeyes in the playoffs, but man, I still wouldn't do it. The earliest I would take a running back is maybe fifth round.
I agree with Greg. I probably wouldn't take a running back to the fifth round either.
Yeah. So I won't spend too much time on the rest of these guys here.
So
go ahead, Derek. Go ahead. My next one is Quinchon. Before the short yardage.
Yeah, I was about to say between those two guys, for me it all depends on how many picks do we have. If we come into day 2 and we still only have 6 picks, then I don't want to spend a day 2 pick on a running back.
Well, the other thing is though, Dale, if you're saying this is a loaded running back class, there's going to be a fuck ton left over in free agent and undrafted free agents.
Well, on day 3,
and
let's just say day 3.
Okay. Yeah.
Still, yeah, exactly. I mean, fifth round. I would even almost be hesitant in the fifth round almost.
I love these guys, but I'm with you. For the Bengals, it doesn't make sense to take one of these guys in the first 2 days of the draft, in the first 3 rounds.
Well,
so
Quinchon's out. Said, if for some reason we're sitting there on fucking draft day and it's like pick number 17, the Bengals pick Ashton Genty, I'm not gonna be fucking like fuck that guy, fuck him. I'll be like, shit, what are they doing? We had that running game to the passing game that we got with Joe Burrow. God damn, we just took the Ferrari and fucking turbocharged it.
Now, I will say all the names I'm mentioning, I don't have a crystal ball. I can't look into the future. If any of these guys fall to the 4th round, I'm all over them because they're day 2 guys for me.
That's fine.
So Travion, Caleb Johnson, Amari Hampton, Quinchon Judkins, if he declares, he might come back. Cam Scattaboo right behind Quinchon.
Cool.
I don't see him getting out of day 2. He's too good. His contact, but we have hyped up Cam Scattaboo a lot. I think he's going to be a good NFL player. He can catch the ball. Hell, he can throw the ball, and he can run the ball like a fucking beast. Cam Scattaboo is a beast. I love him. The dream would be to get Cam Scattaboo on day 3. Listen, if Cam Scattaboo is there in the 3rd round, I will break my rule and I will draft him in the 3rd round. But I'm not taking him at 49. I'm not taking any running back at 49.
Time out. We got a super chat from Foxy, a chain guy, asking about a little off topic here, but it's Bengals talking about the rumor that possibly the Bengals play Miami in Madrid this year. What do you guys think about that real quick?
Why not?
I would love it.
You would love it because it sounds like you're going to go on vacation if that happens, right? Because you got to do what Sarah says, and you said in our chat, she loves Spain.
She does.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna check on my dog.
All right. Yeah, I would. I've heard good things about it, and I would check it out. But probably the abundance of cat litter purchases will keep me from going to Spain.
Yeah,
I don't even know how that works anyway. Like when you go over there, like all them fucking Spaniards, man, are wanting tickets too, right? I mean, how many tickets are over there? So you can't just be like, oh, I'll buy a ticket for over there. It's probably fucking hard to get a ticket, right?
Well, they're going to be on sale. I mean, you could go on Ticketmaster just the same way you would for any away game and buy them.
Yeah, but a whole fucking like when they went to Germany, didn't they have like 2 million people trying to get into 60,000 seats applying for to go see the game? Like that's probably going to be the same way. I just feel like, I never tried, but it's probably hard to get a ticket for one of the international games because they're taking them there, and everybody that lives there, they're like, "Oh shit, this only happens once a year, or less if you're Spain. This is the first time." Or
it's going to be. I mean, it's definitely going to be like a first come, first served basis, but I still feel
it's going to be like buying a ticket to the Super Bowl. It's going to be like
it won't be that expensive. It won't be that expensive.
Would you guys rather see the Bengals in Spain. So we have two chances: Bengals in Spain or the Bengals in London playing the Browns.
I would
gotta
much
tell you,
rather see him
man,
in Spain.
I heard that the beaches are really nice in Spain too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would. Hey, if I'm going to go see an international game, that sounds like a good spot.
And I know Spanish. I don't know German.
I don't know either fucking one, but I can say cerveza. El Cuatro Cerveza. Is that Four Locos in Mexican?
No, that's
Spanish?
4 beers, but
Oh, well, fuck it. Let's go.
Loco is Spanish.
Oh, you would
Cuatro Loco.
to switch it to American English, you would say Quattro Crazy. Instead of Four Loco, Quattro Crazy. That's what they probably call it. Give me a Quattro Crazy.
Yeah.
I need something for Fireball over there. They probably just know if I walk in and I look drunk and I go,
fuck it, let's
Fireball!
go.
They're probably like,
you know what?
oh, we know what.
You know what, Foxy?
Yeah.
Dustin, everybody, we're going to need them goddamn super chats because we're starting a campaign right now. Send Bengals and Brews to Madrid.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We'll do a show.
We'll start a
show from
GoFundMe.
over there.
Yeah.
Fuck it. We'll do a show from over there if everybody sends us on their dime. What do you think, Dale? You're only 2 hours away.
I think I got a lot more running backs on this list.
Oh, go ahead then.
Dale's
dog
2
has
hours
been
away
watered.
from everything.
I'm not 2 hours away from Madrid.
No?
I'm not. Ollie Gordon, the second, didn't have a good season for Oregon State. Was phenomenal the year before. Absolutely phenomenal as a pass catcher. It has a little bit of an upright running style. But once again, we're talking guys probably not making it to day 3. If he made it to day 3, it'd be a little interesting, but I don't think that's what we need to pair with Chase Brown. So won't spend too much time on him. Dylan Sampson with Tennessee, him getting injured early in that game against the Buckeyes really hurt them.
Yeah.
Hell of a player, had like 1,400 yards in the SEC this year. He could get on day 3. I wouldn't be opposed to him. RJ Harvey is like one of my sleepers from UCF. Kid's a stud, but he's also a little smaller. I don't think he'd be the one you want to pair with Chase Brown, but I'm just saying that's a name to keep in mind if you're a draft guy. Devin Neal from Kansas, DJ Giddens from Kansas State, Jaquavius, his nickname is Woody Chop. Woody Martin.
I like that.
What I like about him is he's a hell of a pass catcher. He played at USC this year. I can't remember where he transferred from. Honestly, I'd have to look through my notes, but I'm not doing that right now. Kyle Monungai from Rutgers, Jordan James from Oregon. So these are all like day 3 guys. But when we're talking like Bengals and what they need for like short yardage as we're getting into day 3, so this won't be exactly my list. I will just hit on those names. There's several more running backs. We'll do a full running back show at some point if you're a draft guy that's listening into this. But Jordan James, I could see him being that guy. I think he's like 220. For Oregon, had like over 1,200 yards. When he got hurt for Oregon against Ohio State, it didn't go well. So similar to Dylan Sampson. But Damian Martinez from Miami is a guy who I have talked about a little bit already. This guy's 240.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Fat bastard.
He's not, though. And he's got a little running juice, but also you talk about short yardage, you're 240.
How tall is he?
Yeah.
At 240.
It's a good question. See,
I mean, if
now
he's
you're on-
5'10 or 6'2, it makes a difference on 240 for the
It
build.
does.
I mean, 240 is
Yeah,
big
is he,
anyway, though.
The draft guide.
Yes. You got that
Is he
printed edition.
is he a Derrick Henry guy or is he a
6
shit,
foot,
what's
235, but I've seen 240.
what's that guy that used to play for Green Bay like way back in the day?
Brett Favre.
The running back.
Oh, not Brett Favre.
I know exactly. Lacey, was it Lacey?
Yeah, Lacey.
Yeah.
That guy was the wrong kind of 240.
Right. He was a biscuit away from 260.
Right.
Well, didn't the Bengals heavily consider Lacey that year when we took Bernard, or was it? I think it came down to Bernard, Bell, and
Eddie Lacey.
Yeah, Eddie. Lacey.
Basically, don't draft anyone with the last name Lacey because Kyron Lacey killed someone.
Yeah, right.
Eddie
he still in the
Lacey
draft?
ate his way out of the NFL.
He's not in the draft at all, is he?
Oh, I mean, he declared for the draft 2 days after he killed that guy. He made
Nobody's
a
gonna
post
draft
declaring
him,
for
are
the
they?
draft.
Would you be opposed to picking him up in undrafted free agent just in case
Yes,
he
I would be opposed.
in case he's not guilty?
I mean, see, if he's not like I kept him in the draft guide, by the way. I put him at dead last. I put asterisks beside it. So anybody that got the draft guide update I sent out, he's still in it, but he's dead last. But it's not even like he's not really necessarily even ranked. He's just the last guy on there because if he's found not guilty,
right,
he is an NFL caliber player. He's a second, third round pick caliber player, football talent wise.
Sure.
But that is all irrelevant to what he's facing. He could be the longest yard caliber player. You know, that's what it's
I hope he goes to Pittsburgh, to be honest. Just because I think him and Pickens would be a show together and not a good show. Like both of them are fucking idiots.
But Martin, I want to get back to Damian Martinez here for running back. So like I said, 6 foot, 235, 240, whatever he weighs in at. He's a thickly built running back, you know, thick legs, like Derek really likes that. He was telling us earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So so he's played 3 seasons of college football, the first 2 at Oregon State. His first year at Oregon State, 982 yards. So almost 1,000 yards as a true freshman.
Wow.
6.1 yards per carry. That's good. For a big guy, that's pretty damn good.
Yeah, it is.
Now, he doesn't have a lot of receiving productions. The most was this year at Miami with 200. But his second year at Oregon State as a sophomore, almost 1,200 rushing yards. Once again, 6.1 yards per carry.
Jesus.
So it's not like he's just getting the ball in short yardage situations and getting a bunch of no, this kid can run the fucking ball. He's honestly being slept on a lot right now. Like, I got him early day 3, but I think he could work his way into day 2. But this is a guy that would fit the Bengals like a glove, in my opinion. This is why I'm talking about him so much.
You're selling me on the guy.
So at Miami, Florida, who he split carries with Mark Fletcher, who's going to be probably a day 2 pick next year. Cam Ward at quarterback, they threw the ball a lot, obviously, with Cam Ward, had a great season. But he still had 1,000 rushing yards this season. And his yards per carry, he didn't have as many carries as either of his first 2 years at Oregon State. But his yards per carry was 6.3 yards per carry. So his career yards per carry.
What's this guy's name? Say his name again.
Damian Martinez.
I like the fucking guy. And you know what? Boom. Let's go ahead. Well, you said he's a third day guy?
As of right now, you see him like 5th, 6th, 7th round.
All right.
I don't think you can get him there but it is a deep class. So, there's other positions that get taken. This guy's there in the 5th round. We didn't think – I had Chase Brown, a 3rd round guy. Chase Brown's there in the 5th round. Well, that turned out well. But now you get the bigger guy. But the guy that also can have juice is a bigger guy, but give you the short yardage stuff.
That's my question is you said that he's averaging 6.1 yards per carry, and that's great. But what did you see on his short yardage? Because that's what I'm more focused on with another back is who can get us, like, if you put him in there, 100, it's like the fucking tush push. You just know you're going to get 1 yard.
Right.
At least. Like Corey Dunn. You could fall forward for 1 fucking yard. That's the guy. Does this guy do that good?
Yes, he's 240.
So, fuck it. Cashed it in. Just take the ticket now. Take it up.
I will not give a full boner list because there's a long time right now.
Yeah.
But Damian Martinez, I can confidently say, because I thought he would go back to Miami for 1 more year because it was only his 3rd year in college. But when you have that much production, he's gambling on himself. This is a case where I say, you were smart to gamble on yourself.
Yeah.
Damian Martinez is on the boner list.
Boom. Boner.
Put him
Dale,
on the
Chubb.
list.
Get the phone out.
Yeah.
Get the phone out. Call Mike Brown. Call Duke.
Remember this fucking show.
Pick this guy up.
Right. This is the show where Dale fucking told you, the entire NFL, Damian Martinez. Sometimes you gotta suck your own dick.
Yeah. I'm telling you, everything is there with this kid. The production, the yards per carry, the power, the short yardage. Would like to see him do a little more pass catching, but 200 yards this year is still, it's not nothing to to just push aside. That's still pretty decent. In a more limited role but when they were really in the mix down the stretch, they were giving him the damn ball, not Mark Fletcher. So
Yep. And
next
what,
guy.
what is it they
Go
always
ahead.
say? Don't let good players keep you from drafting great ones.
Yeah.
I think that's.
I just think, man, this guy's.
List.
Let's just say this guy's there in the 5th. You get 2 5th-round picks that are fucking beast. You get your Icky Woods and James Brooks to make Greg hard because he loves history. He loves Bengals history. You've already got your James Brooks with Chase Brown. You get your Icky Woods with Tammy Martinez, Greg.
That's right, Greg.
You're really going to hate me over this because I've always stated he was the best goal line back of all time if I had to pick one. I'm sorry, but Jerome Bettis was always – I couldn't stand playing against him, but Jerome Bettis was always my goal.
Oh, guess where he went to college at?
Notre Dame. Go Irish!
Come on, Crypt Keeper. Crypt Keeper set you up to say that.
Also, fuck Steelers.
Yeah, fuck the Steelers. Next guy on this
list.
Cripp's
typing his ass off right fucking now.
No, he's already. Look,
he's got something going. Oh, you got the nip.
It was already done. It was already done. He was so excited that you brought up a Notre Dame player like that.
As soon as he said that, I could hear Cripp's keyboard.
Poor chop, you're Joe for maintenance.
Fuck right, man. You need some shit fixed. I got you.
Khalil Maulings. So, Derek, we're familiar with this guy because we're Ohio State fans, and we watched him kick our ass 2 years straight for Michigan. 6'2", 233. Yep. So another big, powerful guy. He was so much better than Donovan Edwards. I was saying it early in the season. I'm like, Donovan Edwards is not it, boys. He wasn't it last year. He ain't it this year. I don't know why he was on the damn EA Sports cover. Former linebacker. He was at Michigan playing linebacker. Literally getting snaps at linebacker, and they're like, hey, we're going to move you over to running back.
I'll be a son of a bitch.
And he had 948 yards this year as a running back.
Holy shit.
No receiving. This guy will not be able to receive. But I think he could block because he's a former fucking linebacker. So any thoughts on him, Derek? Because, I'm just tossing some names out here.
No, I mean, he's a Michigan guy, so the Bengals are all about it.
Interested. He's on the radar.
Yeah, we love Michigan down here. Probably because when I started going back to the games, Bengals know I was born in Kalamazoo, so they were like, fuck it, man. Chop's back. Let's go ahead and get some of these Michigan players in here for him, show them some respect.
I'll give you the next name.
Let's go.
230 pounds.
Hell yeah.
Only 5'10".
Oh, this motherfucker's a bowling ball.
Boom. You said exactly what you would just think as soon as you hear this. Taj Brooks from Texas Tech.
Okay.
You want to talk production? He had last year, now they give him a lot of carries, but still over 5 yards per carry on a large amount of carries. He had 1,538 yards last year.
Damn.
Guess what he did this year?
What did he do?
1,505 yards this year.
Some bitch.
3,000 yards the last 2 seasons in rushing at 5'10", 230. Over 850 yards after contact.
Dale,
so
you just
it's hard to tackle a bowling ball when it's coming down the lane to knock.
Exactly. You just sold me on Damian Martinez, and now we got what the fuck is this guy's name?
Taj Brooks, baby.
Taj Brooks.
Gotta write these names down.
My God, what am I gonna do? I have to dig into the draft guide and see which one.
You know one of the things I got on here, Chop? It says short yardage power.
Hey, I'm sold on that.
Sorry, Damian. I'm moving on to Taj. It was fun while it lasted.
Those 5 minutes were really good.
And you ain't got anybody else that's going to go Boner City, do you?
No, because
all right, good. I'll stick with Taj.
This is in the order of how I have them, but
what's Taj's last name? Because I know it's not Mahal.
Brooks.
Taj Brooks.
The Taj Mahal
Brooks. We got a Brooks back.
Hey, the new TB on the team.
We got a Brooks back too, man. Are they related?
Not that I'm aware of.
Oh, well.
Phil Maffa out of Clemson, 6'1", 220. So I know I've got you all excited, but I'm telling
right.
this guy is the classic bruiser. I
Plus
loved
his
Will
last name's
Shipley
Mafia.
coming out. This is when I first got on to Phil Maffa. I loved Will Shipley coming out of Clemson last year. The white boy the Eagles drafted.
Yeah.
So explosive. You watch his Duke game, it's incredible from the year before. But Phil Maffa actually beat him out for the starting job when Will Shipley had been the starter for 2 seasons. Now Phil Moffat's been the guy. So last year he had 965 yards. This year, 1,115 yards rushing in 14 games, 5.2 yards per carry. Thick lower body. Derek loves that. Short yardage ability. And he has increased his production each season. Phil Moffa, guy to keep an eye on. He could go much higher than where I have him. But
Phil Moffa, I love that name. Phil Moffa. Mufasa, we could call him.
No, Mafia.
Mafia, that's it.
Mafia. There you go.
that might be it. That might be it. Hold on. Let me see. Oh, no. Here's another one. Raheem Rocket Sanders. His nickname is Rocket.
Oh, it's a chop Rocket. What college?
Like a Red Rocket?
Yeah, Red Rocket. Is it? What college?
Derek goes right for the dog's dick. Right? That's where his mind goes.
Yeah, what college?
See, he is low on my list because he has never produced as much as he did as a sophomore. He was at Arkansas for 3 seasons.
Hey, Arkansas's colors are red, so.
And this year he was at South Carolina.
That's red also.
Last year he had an injury in the middle of the season. So he missed half the season last year. Didn't have a productive season at all. I will first read off this year's stats, and then I'll go back to his sophomore year.
Don't
this
get
is
me
why
excited, man. I don't know if I can
so-
handle another guy.
6'2", 242, number 1. You talk about a big old boy.
I like that guy.
Receiving production this year, best of his career, over 300 yards receiving for a guy that is 245. Hey, here's
Jesus.
a screen pass. Anybody want to tackle this motherfucker?
No shit,
Probably
man.
not.
Fuck no, they don't.
881 rushing yards. So solid this year for South Carolina. Very solid. Last year, he only had 200 rushing yards. Like I said, he only played 6 games. He was hurt a lot. Only 3.4 yards per carry. This year, 4.8. 4.8 is very good. Don't get it twisted because we've had guys with 6 and 5. You know, this guy, 4.8 is still very good. But his sophomore year at Arkansas, when he looked like a surefire day 2 guy at worst. At Arkansas, his true sophomore season, 6.5 yards per carry. 1,443 yards.
Man.
Rushing. At 6'2", 242, Arkansas plays in, so does South Carolina, the SEC. They play LSU. They play Alabama. They play Georgia.
Dale, appreciate your respect for the SEC as the elitist fucking division in college football. Thank you, sir. Go ahead.
Oh, man, we got somebody who just, geez, Scott, I'm so sorry. I will try to clean up my fucking language.
Who the fuck is this guy?
So unprofessional.
Sorry, Scott, if you're not in the person.
F-word in this show. This
But
show that
also,
we pay money to do. It's
before
so
you-
unprofessional.
Before you fucking leave the show, hit that fucking subscribe button. We would fucking appreciate it.
Very low class and poor command of the English language. Well,
Sir,
fuck
I am
you, Scott.
Low class. I
Scott.
am the epitome of low class. And
I
later
live in
on, I'm
Portsmouth,
holding a
Ohio,
low class
bitch.
meeting.
We got meth, and that's about it. If you don't like watching this show, get the fuck out. Didn't need your fucking comment. Go fuck yourself. Go look in
Yeah.
the mirror. I don't need your
Subscribe.
bullshit.
And hit subscribe on your way out.
Fuck off, Scott Lieber. You can go eat a fucking bag of dicks. Is that good English for you?
Right.
Fucking
Scott
cunt.
Lieber.
I was really grinding here.
I know.
Giving all this information out for free on
I know.
the internet. And then some cunt named Scott Lieber comes in.
Yeah. God damn it. I took the Lord's name in
fucked
vain
it all
also. I'm probably going to go to hell. Damn it. This fucking show's ruined me, Dale. I used to be a Christian man, upstanding young Christian man. would go door to door selling my Bibles. Now, here I am in the fucking pits of the cursing, whatever it is. Here we go.
What a fucking cut.
At least
Fruit got our
Here's
back.
me getting excited about draft prospects.
You think Scott Lieber's still there? Or did he exit?
I hope he fucking left, because if he's still listening, he can kiss my fucking ass!
Right. But it's going to be a 2-hour drive from wherever you're at, Scott.
Well, we don't know where Scott lives either, so
2 hours from Dale.
there you
Wherever
go.
the fuck you
I
live.
hope you
it's
live
2
in the
hours from
street,
Dale.
Scott. Then
Yeah.
we can settle
All I
this
gotta
like
say
gentlemen.
is,
The only person that doesn't live 2 hours from Dale is Wade.
thank fucking goodness we put that explicit content because, things like that could possibly get us reported, right?
Yeah, please don't report us to YouTube, Scott.
I don't give a fuck. Fuck you, Scott. Report us, you fucking pussy. Fuck that. Fuck that. I think the people that watch this show know how much time and effort I put into this.
Right. It's a lot of effort.
And then there's somebody to come in and fucking tell me.
Quit your cussing. Watch your mouth. Clean it up. He's not going to watch our content
But to
anymore.
fucking come in and tell me to watch my fucking language.
Can we have a moment of silence for Scott, though, who's not going to be watching our show anymore? Right? Moment of silence, please. All right. We appreciate the few minutes you were here, though, Scott. Thanks
Also
for
took
subscribing.
your advice, Naughty. I did.
Yeah. And also, Scott, if you want that draft guide, $5 minimum donation to the Project Game Day. All right.
We do a lot of good stuff, cut.
There is no curse words in the draft guide.
There is.
Hold on, I got a voicemail I want to play from Scott real quick. Here it is.
What a fucking.
Yeah.
Antonio Brown, the CTESPN has awards. I got an award. Bitch of the day is you, Scott Lieber. You're the bitch of the day.
Yeah.
Don't
Oh,
fucking
man.
cry about it, you fucking
Right.
pussy.
Yeah.
God damn.
Sorry that we're offensive. I apologize.
Fuck, I'm fucking, man. I don't
Don't
even
blame
say
my
fuck.
mother. She's a good
Fuck,
Christian
fuck,
woman.
fuck, fuck, fuck.
All right.
No, I'm still going. Fuck that guy.
Okay. Go ahead.
He probably is a Saudi Brit. Yeah, he probably supports Deshaun Watson and then says, "Oh, you use the F word and to poor use on the English language." Why don't you suck a dick, Scott?
Yeah.
I think it is. It's well known too that people who use curse words are actually more versed in the human and English vocabulary.
It's just a fucking word. I mean, I'm just being honest. Like curse words, people put power to them by saying that they're bad. It's just a word. Fuck. F-U-C-K. It's 4 letters in the fucking English language that just make a word. It only
Also,
has
something
power
I
because
probably
people
done to
say it's
Scott's
bad.
mother to make him such a fucking pussy.
It's a sentence enhancer. It makes your sentence more
They're
interesting.
great. Hey, greater tragedies in life.
If you say the dog ate food, okay, and if you say that dog ate fucking food, it's different. It just hits different. It's a sentence enhancer, an adjective. I love it. I also like shit. I really
We also like Kentucky Klondikes.
Last night I said breast milk at work, and a social worker was like, that's gross. Don't say that. And I was like, breast milk? She's like, don't say that. The fuck else you call breast milk? What is it? I said, what you want me to call it? Nipple nectar?
Titty milk.
The fuck is that, man? Nipple secretions. The nipple secretions. And I got to tell you, the reason we're talking about it is because there was a patient that whipped her titty out and squirted it on the window. She was trying to squirt me. Oh.
Chop, that is not professional to tell a story
that happened.
But it's not professional to tell a story
Oh.
like that.
You're right. I'm sorry about my language. I did say breast milk, too, and I should have said nipple nectar.
Yeah, nipple nectar is much
Nipple
more
nectar.
Speaking of, Greg, Derek made a reference to the Urban Dictionary. Give us a good Urban Dictionary term.
Okay,
Nipple
give me some
nectar.
time. You guys
Look up
BS
nipple-
while I look one up.
Look up nipple nectar. See if it's.
What about Panamanian petting zoo? Yeah.
Well, we already know about the
That's
Panamanian
always a
petting
great
zoo.
one. Yeah.
And it's cold
Yeah.
out now, so you can do the Kentucky Klondike bar.
Yeah,
Maybe
Urban
Scott
Dictionary.
could learn something and please his wife because he's probably never pleased a woman in his entire
Give her
life.
one of them Kentucky Klondike bars, Derek.
I can do that.
She'll love it. And then when you're done, it segues right into the Panamanian petting zoo when everything melts.
I've always said Panamanian petting zoo is a good segue.
Yes. Austin, I don't know what's wrong with breast milk. This social worker doesn't like it's like, a lot of people don't like the word moist. That's what her reaction was when I said breast milk. Was like moist, which is another
I
word.
just thought that's what you called it. Like,
Scott
It is.
doesn't know what the word moist means. He's never felt it before.
There is no other word. There's no medical word for breast milk. I guess I could have said mammary milk, your mammary gland milk on the window. I don't know what the fuck it was. I guess that later on, if I get some fried chicken, I'll eat a chicken chest.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. This one is two bagging. When a woman is so ugly that you put a bag over her head and a bag over your own, just in case hers falls off. Here's in a sentence. Man, that girl's so ugly, I had to two-bag her. That is two-bagging. Want me to keep going, Dale?
yeah, sure. Why not? I hope Scott's still watching. This is for you, Scott.
Scott's watching. He's taking notes for.
This is the Urban Dictionary,
YouTube.
Scott. It's
Urban
a thing.
Dictionary.
Guess what? There's a lot worse shit. People cuss.
Oh, here we go. This one relates to me. Blue Angel, the act of igniting bowel movement.
You light your shit on fire?
Oh, no.
It's called a Blue Angel?
Yeah.
I never tried to light my shit on fire.
I remember the Blue Angels, like the
Jets.
Yeah, the Jets. Yeah, I went to one of those shows.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've seen
I
them
had
on
a
the TV
cousin
show.
I had a cousin that he was one of the Blue Angels, and then he also married one of our cousins. Portsmouth, man.
Yeah. Spartans.
I'm sitting here thinking, like, wait, is this Alabama here we're talking about, or?
Nope. But then they got divorced, and then yeah. But yeah, it was interesting times. I remember that. I was a kid when that happened, but I remember it.
I'm looking, guys. I'm looking.
All right.
Some of these are weird.
You know what we haven't got in a while? A fun Greg Dancing Friday.
You know what you haven't got in a while? Derek, shut the fuck up.
What's true? We haven't got that in a while.
Just kidding. You know what, man? I will too. I will be right
Do
back.
it for Taj Brooks. Taj
Damian
Brooks.
Martinez.
I like
Okay.
Damian Martinez. We had a fun little fucking 5 minutes.
I know. We were like, I was.
I
Just
know.
Really
you had
in
me
my
sold on
zone.
Damian. You dangled Damian Martinez, and then you
Now,
fucking came in with the knockout Taj Brooks.
Now, if you had a Damian Martinez and a Chase Brown, so you'd have Brown Martinez, would their nickname be the Dirty Sanchez's?
Derek, I believe that's racist.
Yes, Derek
sir.
pulls into his fucking private gated white ass community.
Can't say that, Derek.
Have you ever given anybody a Dirty Sanchez?
I have not.
Did you ever get a Blumpkin?
No,
I don't even know what
I have
those
not.
mean, Chop. What do they mean?
Dirty Sanchez is when you got your finger in their ass and you take it out and wipe it under their nose. It's like a shit mustache.
Oh God, I did not know what that meant.
And Blumpkin is getting a blowjob while you're taking a shit. I hope Scott's not still in here. I don't want to offend him.
Well,
Although
he
I
might
didn't
be-
say the word fucking any of that.
That's true.
I just said getting a blowjob while you take shit.
Mhm.
I did not use the word fuck, Scott. So please don't.
Yeah, but
get me.
how could you make proper use of the English grammar?
You're getting a fucking blowjob while you're taking a fucking shit. It's a fucking Blumpkin. Yeah. Sentence enhancers, man. It's one of my skills. Yeah.
This isn't a professional setting. It is a show called Bengals and
I know.
Brews.
Right. The bruise is for beer. That's why I'm drinking a Coke Zero.
Did I probably overreact to that comment and maybe
You
go a
might have
little
scared
crazy?
Scott away for good.
Maybe I did. But I don't want somebody watching our show that is going to be like that. That is not what this show is. It's not like we put it out to the chat. People come in. People come in when they're hammered drunk and have a good time.
That's right. We're just hanging out, man. And sometimes curse words happen. And by sometimes, I mean a lot.
And so many friendships, the people on the show and the people in the chat. And if you're offended over the word fuck, I'm sorry. True. We're going to say fuck.
I'm actually not sorry, but we're going to say fuck.
We're going to talk football. And sometimes we don't say, we might not say fuck the whole show. Somebody has to start that.
When they start regulating this by the FCC, we'll think about stopping. But until fucking then, fuck no. I mean, because the FCC, I've worked under their fucking jurisdiction before, and that's $10,000 for the word fuck. You don't say fuck if it costs you $10,000. You know how much we pay for each show? How much we'd have to pay for each show if they charge us $10,000 every time we said the word fuck?
Probably. Listen, we pay to do this show.
We do actually pay to do this show.
You are.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
You got your shirt on still.
Dancing to EMF Unbelievable. Oh!
Did someone hit him?
Here we go.
Here we go.
Come on, let's go here. We going.
Let's go. We're going.
You burdened me with your questions. You had me nice. You're always asking whether it's going too fast. You said to me,
he never knows the words. Just dance, bitch.
Cool. Those times I've spent, I realized I'm gonna shoot you. The things you say, your purple pros just give you away. Things you say.
You're unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
You with your problems, tell me rather mine. I'm always so concerned with the way you say. Always have to be us. God damn it! More.
God damn it!
This time,
is that in there?
Guys, I'm gonna shoot through and leave you things you say. Your purple pros you give you away. Things you say. Dale.
Yeah, unbelievable.
God, this guy goes way too fast.
And Scott, you're fucking unbelievable.
Yeah, Scott.
You know what? I'm gonna go even better.
Mouth dancing Friday.
Here we go.
He loves to mouth dance.
You know how I love to use my mouth for a lot of things. Yeah.
Hold on, I like this. Is he having a stroke?
Yes.
Zach says, and then Austin says, "No, that's rock and roll."
Right.
Let's see here.
Boom.
Oh, what's a good one?
It's unbelievable.
Yes, it is.
Oh. The things you say, Scott.
Yeah.
The things you do.
Hi, my name is what? My name is who? My name is Zip Shady. Hi, my name is what? My name is who? My name is Zip Shady. My name is what? My name is who? My name is Zip Shady. Attention the class. Hi, kids. Do you like violence? Do you want to see me take 9 inches?
Take 9 inch what?
9 inch nails to my eyelids?
Try to. My life is. My brain's dead weight. I'm trying my head straight, but I can't figure out which Spice Girl I wanted to impregnate. And Dr. Ray said, Slim Shady, you up? I can't go any further.
You're unbelievable.
I loved when you did the chicka because it did not say chicka. No, you were like yeah.
Chicka. Yeah, that was pretty good.
It's great.
Oh, now look, Matt's got a request. Uncle Fucker.
Oh,
Shut your fucking face.
I
Uncle
actually love that
Fucker.
song. Yes.
Oh my
I don't know
God.
why I didn't think of that
You
also.
guys
I was
said
gonna
one
do-
that Greg will do. All right, Greg.
No,
do
Jeff
it.
Dale. I was going to do CeeLo Green, fuck you, and all that, but this one's a good one too.
This
So
one's
you
for
drive
Sally.
around town.
This one's for Sally Luther. Go ahead, Greg.
Oh, God.
Fuck you.
Somebody make sure Sally Luther is watching the show
Yeah.
right now. She's probably friends with Scott.
Oh, God. I'm only going to do a little bit here. I don't want to get too much in trouble. But
Nah, let's do the whole thing, Greg.
Maybe Scott Lieber was actually Sally Luther.
It could be.
SL for the initials.
Boom, Greg.
Oh shit!
You ain't
I
getting
just went
lasagna
off
tonight.
on Greg's
Here we go.
mom.
Uh-oh.
Shut your fucking face, Uncle Fucker. Uncle Fucker. I can't. They go way too fast.
I like the second line where you're just like, Uncle Fucker.
Uncle Fucker.
Uncle Fucker.
He made it very rock, like he tends to do. Like,
Yeah.
What's your favorite line
Uncle
from both sides?
Fucker.
Uncle Fucker.
Uncle Fucker.
Uncle Fucker.
Greg will never do
Fucker.
boats and holes. Actually, boats and holes.
Hell yeah. That's my favorite line is Lemonheads, nachos, my dad's boat. You won't sink, my dick can float. Apologize,
I'm
Scott.
really trying
Sorry,
to think
Scott.
of one.
Apologies to Scott.
We were just singing the song.
Right, it's just the lyrics. I only repeated the lyrics. I did not write them.
I think I may have done this one, but it's been a while, so I like this one. Hello, boy. Yeah, here we go.
Here we
Now
go.
I'm going to go with my favorite 90s, 2000s Nelly. Here we go.
Nelly.
God dang it. I got to go through this stupid ad.
That's a weird song. It starts off, God dang it.
Here we go.
Oh, here we go.
God
Ads
dang
are-
it. Gotta
Here we go,
to the
here we go,
stupid
here we go.
ad. That's a
Uncle
fad.
Fucker.
What the fuck?
Hello, Portia. I want to try ya. Crazy baby, there ain't
Hello,
nothing
pork chop, I wanna
like ya.
try ya.
Hello, Portia. So right, I
I'll ride
want to
myself.
get ya. Back it up. Let's roll, roll, roll. Hey, Chop, girl, let's know. You sexy thing. I need a private show here on my lawn.
You want to lap dance?
Hey, Portia, girl, I think you know what I want to do. You're under. Let me slide under.
Hurdy-durder.
You. I want to take your top off. So
Fucking
rate
went
the
all Swedish
champagne
Chef for a
pop
minute
off. Yeah, we can turn the clocks off. No rush, baby. We can park somewhere. No keys. Mission.
People
No
just like
keys.
fucking
Let's start
tuning in.
this. You say, hello, Chop. I want to try ya.
Boom.
Crazy baby, there ain't nothing like ya. Hello, Portia.
want some of the other white
Why'd
meat?
I had to get ya. Back it up, they roll, 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 roll. Na 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 na. Hey, Portia.
Poor
Da
chop.
da 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 da. I don't blame you, Dale. I'm fucking sexy motherfucker, man, and I've had myself before.
Yeah.
That was
It
Hello,
turned out
Portia
good for
by
me.
Nelly.
Yeah. Yep.
The song's a lot better than my take, but
No, I don't think so.
I do think so.
Yours was better. I never listened to Nelly. I'd listen to yours.
You ever listen to
On
Nelly
repeat.
Dale?
Yeah, man. You
go.
can find me in St. Louis where they're gonna play. It rained all day. Na na na.
If you want to
That
go
was
take
nice.
a ride with me, hey, must be the money.
Yeah, man.
What's
I
up,
grew up
Paul?
on that.
What's up, Paulie?
What else?
I promise, if you want a football talk, we talk football for a
We do
good
talk football.
hour. And then this guy came in. I forgot his name already.
Scott
Well,
something.
Yeah, Scott,
Scott
Lieber.
Liebram
Fuck
or-
you, Scott Lieber. I thought it was Scott, but I didn't want to get it wrong.
Scott
It was Scott Lieber.
Labia.
L-E-B-E-R.
Scott Labia.
Yeah, Scott the fucking pussy.
Scott Labia. Scott Lieber. Leber. Scott Lieber. He probably unfollowed me on Twitter. That's sad. I curse on there too, so he probably already didn't follow me.
Yeah.
A lot of times when I hit send, it'll be like, you have content in here that is cursing, and you want to send anyway? And I'm like, yeah, post it anyway, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, we're doing a show on Monday. It's going to be a Buckeye-centric, Buckeye versus Notre Dame prospect talk show, if I'm being honest. Greg, you want me
who to watch?
get
I'll
off
tell
the
you
main
what.
screen?
Anybody that's a Bengals fan should be watching that game and now interested in watching Notre Dame's defense because it looks like our first draft pick is going to be Al Golden, going back to looping around to the beginning of the show.
Maybe, maybe not.
I mean, I would think that I think the Bengals are hoping for Al Golden with a backup plan of Graham.
Well, no, Chop. I get what you're saying. Like I say, they still want to interview Golden. They may just say, hey, let's go with Graham, but they want to give Golden a fair interview.
If they were 100% sold on Graham, he'd already be our DC.
But the Jaguars job, he interviewed for that.
Yeah.
I mean, didn't get it right.
No, it hasn't been filled
Hasn't
yet.
been announced yet.
Well, I mean, he could be waiting on that. I don't know which one you like better. Like when I was watching Locked On and they were talking about the two different defensive schemes, and they were talking about Al Golden plays a lot of man, and they said if Graham came here, he would focus on the trenches. And when they said that, I'm not gonna lie, I got an erection.
No, Chop. I heard the same thing, and this guy, I listened to this one guy talk about Graham. He's very creative. He'll have like 6 guys to line of scrimmage, but only rush 4, but you don't know which 4 are going to be rushing and all that. Great, and that's what I liked about Graham also as well.
Well, and so you watch.
I also would take Graham, so that means Al Golden will probably be hired after the Buckeyes.
Yes, he will be hired.
I thought I wanted Al Golden last night, and then I'm not gonna lie, I watched Locked On, and they were talking about the two different defensive schemes. And what sold me the most is when they said if Graham comes, he's gonna focus on the trenches, and I was like, "This is what my fucking dude Dale's been saying." Everybody in our whole group is we need to focus on the trenches.
Yes.
So I'm like, let's bring this motherfucker in here. And then they brought up the concerns about, the Bengals retreading people that had been here before and the concerns with that. And so there's a little bit of that, but to tell you the truth, I'm not going to be upset with either one of them.
No, me neither. And when me and Dale did a show Wednesday, Divine, who came on, he made a very compelling argument also about Graham that really sold me too. So
yeah,
Graham has really sold me here.
I do wish that they would have interviewed that guy from Wisconsin, Leonard. Yeah. I wish they would at least just talk to him.
Right.
But whatever. I mean, maybe they just had their guys and they're like, these are the guys. And
but
once they talk to them first, what's that?
It should never be like that because there was not a connection to Graham, which is another reason I kind of want Graham. Is because there's not a connection.
Yeah, and that's another thing that sold me. And nothing against Al Golden. He's done a great job. But another thing about Graham that sold me also, he gets the best out of his young players. And that's a reason why Lou got fired, because he could not develop the younger guys.
Well, I would say that Al Golden can also get a lot out of young players because that's all he's got. And he got it out of them.
Exactly. And that's another thing,
so both of them. If you're just taking young players, I'll bet you Al Golden's better for that one, just because he's been coaching at Notre Dame for 3 years. So
but he's also coached at Miami too. So yeah.
So as far as relating to younger players, and then I can see advantages to both because I kind of like a hot defensive coordinator from college coming in because the NFL is going to a lot more of the spread offense, and so I think someone new coming in with new ideas from college would be nice. But I also like Graham. And also they were talking about how he's worked under a whole lot of great defensive coordinators. So he's been able to pick up little things as he's made his journey through the NFL coaching.
No, absolutely, Chap, absolutely. But like I say,
has he ever been a defensive coordinator before?
Graham?
Yeah.
He was besides the Raiders defensive coordinator. Let me see. That's a good question. That may have been no. I think he was DC. Yeah, under Spagnolia, I think he may be here. Actually, let me check.
Well, under Spags, he would have been an assistant to Spags, right?
Yeah, because Spags was the head coach for the Giants at that time.
Oh, that's right.
No. He was defensive coordinator for the Miami Dolphins for 1 year in 2019. Oh, the Giants from 2020 to 21, assistant head coach and defensive coordinator.
Well, also concerns me that he's been defensive coordinator at a few different places. And I mean, did any of them have like a super fucking great defense?
Yeah, some people pointed that out. Like there was 1 year he was with the Giants, they went from like 10th, and then they went 30th.
I think That sounds good, but I think I'm back to Al Golden. I really think that a college defensive coordinator coming in here is going to.
Yeah, well,
just
no,
my
Chuck, you brought
opinion.
that up. Yeah.
I
See,
won't be
Al
mad
Golden.
with
Yeah, the
either
thing with
one.
Al Golden is also it seems like you said he's known for his defensive backs. I just really want to concentrate, man, on that like you said, on the trenches right there.
Well, when he was here, he was our linebacker coach, and our linebackers were really fucking good when he was coaching them.
Not even just Pratt and Wilson, Akeem Davis Gaither.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, he used him so well. Absolutely. Yeah. No, like I say, we will not get mad who it's in. But I'm just saying, Graham last couple of days has really, really climbed up. Like Golden is still at the top of my list. Graham was like down here, but Graham is like slowly kind of like up here now. Well,
I feel like that too, but I think that now that we talked it out, to be honest, it's just that trenches thing that gets me on Graham. I really like the sound of that. But who says that Al Golden's not going to come in here and also want to focus on making sure that we got a pass rush and we're good in the trenches?
Well, obviously that safety they have, who's the top-notch ball hawk safety.
Well, if he brings him, I'm not opposed to that either. Xavier something or another. Dale's got his mic off.
Xavier Watts.
Xavier Watts.
And like I say, I know safety's not high on our board, but dude.
But I think he's going in the first round probably, right?
I think he's labeled as a second rounder. It could be very close. I don't know if he would be there for the Bengals in the second round.
This is where we could use a draft aficionado specialist.
Yeah, when he comes back and all that.
He's watering the dog.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Chop. A friend of mine just brought that up with me today. What if they beat Ohio State beats the living crap out of Notre Dame?
Yeah, I don't know, man. If that happens, I might be back on the Graham train.
Well, I remember a similar story where the Patriots were like, Tom Brady in that Super Bowl against the Eagles throws for 500 yards, and they still lose because their defense was horrible. And the day after, the Lions hired Matt Patricia, the DC, and that did not go well at all either. So that's
I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I think I'm working.
No, it's interesting. Like I say, at least these are two candidates where we're like, oh man, I pray to God it's not this one and all. So, like I say, if whoever they pick, I'll be cool with.
Yeah, I got to work that day.
There's been a lot of good arguments about Patrick Graham here the last couple.
Yeah, either one. I'm glad to tell you the truth. When they say they've narrowed it down to those two, I'm kind of glad because it tells me that they're getting close and they got their guy, and it's either one or the other, and or they can.
They're comfortable with either. Well,
right, they're comfortable with either. Okay, Dale.
Can I throw out a worst case scenario? I tossed this out to you, Greg, before the show.
Yes, you did.
I said worst case scenario is they have Al Golden coming in for an interview. They're waiting on him. Then they can't figure it out with money. His son's getting ready to go to Notre Dame. So Al Golden says, he says, yeah, that too. So you got to pay him his salary plus the buyout money potentially. And Al Golden stays at Notre Dame. So he's out. And then Patrick Graham says, well, no, I've already taken a D coordinator job wherever. And now it's like you done said these are your two finalists because Zach's first go around, Lou was like his 10th choice.
Yeah, his 4th or 5th choice.
I mean, it worked out overall for Lou. Did very good. Don't get me wrong. But you never want to be that far down your list, you know. Yeah. And to be like, now you're bringing in guys saying, yeah, we didn't want you at all. And maybe it works out still, but that is worst case scenario for me.
Yeah, and Dale, the Notre Dame safety Watts, he's a ball hawk. Could he be there for the Bengals in the second round?
Maybe. I got him 35th overall on my board in the update I sent out. So I really like him. Honestly, like Malachi Starks has more, I guess, potential as a player. But man, people that have Xavier Watts at number 1, and I know there's some in the draft community that do, and I could see more having it as the process continues. I get it. Like 13 interceptions over the last 2 seasons, 7 last year, 6 this year. That's insane for a safety.
That is insane. Yeah, but like as me and Chop were talking, we both listened to separate shows and talked about Patrick Graham. He's going to concentrate on the trenches. Al Golden concentrates on man-to-man defense. Be that as may, Al Golden will still concentrate on the trenches. What's your take on that whole scenario right there?
Well, I get like concentrating on the trenches, but also one thing I liked about Graham, I'll just say, is he said, you're going to have young players. It's a young player league. You're going to lose players. The players you get, you have to be able to coach up and use them to their strengths. And I'm not saying Golden won't do that, and especially 3 years at Notre Dame at a pretty high
Right.
level.
Right.
He's had to do that. Like I said, their two best defensive players are not going to be playing in the championship. So I think both guys can do it. But I know that Graham's done it in the NFL as a defense coordinator, and Al Golden has never been a defense coordinator in the NFL.
Your pick is Graham.
It is, but honestly, I loved Al Golden as our linebacker coach.
Yep.
I thought when we lost to him, things went downhill. I understand his value, and I understand how good he's been at Notre Dame. Marcus Freeman was also a great defense coordinator. Luke Fickell hasn't been the same without Marcus Freeman. So how hands-on is Marcus Freeman with that Notre Dame defense? How much credit can I give Al Golden? These are just things I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but then also Al Golden, and I thought the exact same thing with Marcus Freeman being a defensive-minded guy. But then again, Al Golden, man, he's getting paid as the highest defensive coordinator in college football. So I can't believe just to be like, an assistant or something. But I get
he's
what
not
you're
the
saying.
highest paid. He's under even Wink. There's a few guys above him.
Well,
but,
okay, well he's up there though, right?
Yeah, he's
Well,
top
2.3, I think.
Yeah,
He's 2. Wink Martindale's 2.3 million. Ohio
still,
State's guy's up there. He's pretty good too.
I mean, the Bengals have to know that they're going to have to pay him at least what he's getting paid in Notre Dame, right? And the other thing is, I was going to ask, as you were talking about the head coach for Notre Dame, it's
Marcus Freeman.
Marcus Freeman. Is he up for any coaching jobs?
Well,
this
there was
year?
rumors about the Bears for the NFL.
I'm just saying, if for some reason that guy leaves, and Al Golden might have an incentive to get the fuck out of Notre Dame.
He's not leaving. He literally converted to Catholicism after he went to Notre Dame. He's got 6 kids.
7.
He was already Catholic.
He's got 7? He had another one? Good
I
Lord.
thought he had 7 kids.
No, you're probably right. I know there's 6 that I see in pictures. There could be a baby around there too. I'm just saying, this guy seems happy at Notre Dame. They're paying him a lot of money. He just got an extension, literally 6. He just got an extension when the playoffs started because I think there was a little uneasiness with Ohio State and him going to Ohio State as a linebacker. Played with James Laurinaitis, who is the linebacker coach for Ohio State. But yeah, so he is well paid. He's going to continue to be well paid. And I can't see him making the jump to the NFL right now. I just can't see him doing it. And Chicago is not the job you would make the jump to the NFL for. They fire coaches after a year or two.
I tell you what, though, man, because I've said this at one point, the Bengals need a defensive-minded coach because we have Joe Burrow. That would be an intriguing – if Zach doesn't work out in a year or two, that would be an intriguing option, Marcus Freeman, I must have to say.
I mean, well, that's what I've said is that some of the attractiveness of our job is that Zach Taylor might be somewhat on the hot seat. If we get a D coordinator in here, we get a defense.
Oh, but Freeman's not taking that step down. He's not taking the step down.
Let's go get Brian Kelly.
Coach.
Sorry, Chop.
I mean, I don't give a fuck. Brian Kelly. At least you get him away from LSU.
I was going to say Chop would hate it in one way and love it in another.
When he leaves it, yeah.
Right. He can go coach the Browns.
Yeah.
Well, guys, this was a fun show. We should probably end it.
Absolutely.
Greg, here's a good question from Crit. He always brings the hard-hitting questions.
Oh, my God.
So, Big Savage, who's the bigger douchebag? Chris Cook from Church Camp or Scott from today's chat?
Man, I thought nobody would ever surpass Chris, but congrats, Scott.
You did it, Scott. With one comment in the chat, you surpassed Chris Cook and his massive dumps.
Yeah. I still know it was you, Chris Cook.
You're right.
Oh gosh, Tommy Tuberville.
Oh God.
That was so bad for UC too. Like,
oh, that was embarrassing. He's now, unfortunately, he's now.
Shout out Paul. Love you, Paul. You're a good dude.
He's a center now in Alabama, so I think he's happy where he's at.
What's up to my bastard son Anthony?
You call him Anthony?
Anthony. That's I've called him that since he was an infant.
This is a father.
Since he was in mom's belly.
I call him Anthony, but
little Anthony.
I didn't know if I was pronouncing his name wrong.
You can say either. He goes by either one. If you say Anthony, he'll be like, "What's up?" And if you go Anthony, he'll be like, "What's up?" Same thing.
Well, I figured if he said Anthony, he'd be like, Dad?
Right. He would probably like if you said
Dada?
Anthony, he might turn around and think you're me.
Makes
That might be
sense.
what he was looking for.
All right. Well, anything else, Gregor?
No, nothing else right now. Right now, I was thinking about asking about, because ESPN may suggest about Kyle Pitts, but let's save that when we talk tight ends, I guess, right?
I mean, yeah, Jermaine Pratt, we could trade him. Sam Hubbard, trade him straight up for Kyle Pitts. If Lou gets that DC job in Atlanta, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay. Might as well. Fuck it. Him and I would say that we're good in tight ends, but I'm scared about Eric Hall.
Yeah, no.
If we Eric Hall and Gesicki's a free agent.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Greg.
I think they re-signed Gesicki. I think Gesicki wants to be here. It's like a T situation where he knows that maybe he could go make a few more dollars somewhere else. But I think that Gesicki, I mean,
it's the
he
same
could be
thing
lying.
with Hayden Hurst. Same thing with Hayden Hurst.
Right. Like, and Gesicki did way better than those two combined. You can almost
that's true.
See, that's what worries me. But here's the thing. Let me ask you guys this. So if we lose Gesicki, and we have the tight room we have now, how big of a priority is tight end? The trenches are still, in my opinion, going to be number one, even if we lose Gesicki. But how higher up does tight end go on that board? Does that go up number 3 behind both the trenches?
No, I don't think it'll ever be that high. Literally, just because you got the GOAT, you got Drew Sample in your tight end room. So jack of all trades, master of none. Drew Sample, he can do a little bit of everything. Well, and then Eric Hall, I think they do still have faith in him. They rostered Tyler McLaughlin. He's 26 years old now for a reason, or going to be turning 26. So they have to have some faith that he can fill some kind of role. And then also the Grandy man, Cam Grandy, they brought up to the 53 and used him. They were throwing passes to him to start the game in play action and used him as a blocker a lot. So I think it doesn't go too high up on the needs. But and also because Mike Gesicki is basically a wide receiver.
Exactly. Right,
but if we're talking like true tight end.
Right. Because I was telling you guys, I said hell no, because like Kyle Pitts, ESPN suggested a Kyle Pitts trade, and I said hell no. It's nothing against Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts could totally do well with the Bengals. We just have so many higher needs, especially considering the fact 6 draft picks. That's why I said no to trading for Kyle Pitts. But if we lose Gesicki, and say if it was a 5th or 6th round for Kyle Pitts, it'd be hard to turn down. It really would. But I'm just saying, there's just so many higher up needs to have, and in the fact that we only have 6 draft picks, would you do that trade, Dale? Knowing we lost Gesicki, would you trade our 5th or 6th round for Kyle Pitts?
For a 5th or 6th round, yeah, because I just Kyle Pitts went 1 pick above Jamar Chase. He shouldn't have. Derek's the only person, Derek, who's in the chat,
right?
Our co-host, the Orange Arrow, but the Scarlet Arrow today.
Yeah,
he would have taken Kyle Pitts over Jamar Chase. There is still talent there with Kyle Pitts.
I
don't think he's going for a 5th or 6th round pick. But guess what? Teams do this every year. Teams get a guy that you don't think will go for a 5th or 6th round pick, and they do it every year, and they get him. So if the Bengals could do that, a 6th round pick for Kyle Pitts, would I do that knowing we only have 6 picks? Yes. Who am I going to draft in the 6th round that I think could have the potential of Kyle Pitts? No one.
Yeah, you're right. And like I say, because like I told you guys, I said hell no at first because we just had other needs. But now, when I kind of sat down and think about it, just because, because I would, if I was going to trade draft pick, I said I'd do that for a guy in the trenches. But if I can't find anybody, and Kyle Pitts, man, because I said our guy Cincy James, he posted the stats, and Kyle Pitts got like 800. They had like the same amount of yardages, but Gesicki had way more receptions than Kyle Pitts also. So Kyle Pitts would do a great job.
Dale, you were going to bring your card down. Like I was getting a text from Joe and Jimmy. They got their card today. But I do got one left. Look, this is just so everybody knows. This is what I sent everybody. Air freshener.
That's awesome, man.
Also, sweet card, too.
Yeah. And you know what? I was wrong.
I assume you wrote in all of them. Maybe you only wrote in mine, and I shouldn't say this, but
yeah, I only wrote yours. Fuck the rest of them.
Yeah, Greg, did he write in yours? Greg, did he write in yours?
He did
No.
write mine. Yes.
Mine's
Damn
Greg
it,
said,
you
"Fuck
liar.
you, Greg."
You're a liar, Chop.
Mine said, Greg had just said, "Fuck off, Greg."
Yeah, he told me to go fuck
And
myself.
don't
Well,
fucking never call me again.
He took a shit on the card.
I
too.
did. I wiped my ass on the card. That's a good
Yes, he
idea for
did.
next year.
Well,
Just-
honestly, when I got it and I walked in the room and I'm like, oh, this is a car from Chop because I went out and checked the mail late. I was like, Marissa, check the mail. She usually checks on her way home. And I'm like, I'm scared to open this, honestly. I know it's a
Because
card.
you could tell something was in it, right?
Not 100%. I knew that you had sent cards, though. You told me about cards you sent that will just play a sound for like 24 straight hours. Like,
Yeah, okay, I got you. You thought it
So
was
that was what was going through my head. I was like,
yeah.
I was like, this motherfucker. So so when I open it and there's an air freshener and a funny card,
What's
and
it?
a
What's
sweet
the?
message.
Tell them what the front of your card said.
Well, I'm trying to find it.
I know what it says. It's got Santa Claus flipping you off. It says, "Ho ho ho, pussy ass bitch."
It's so good, but that doesn't do it justice. Like you,
Greg's
seeing
got
the
a dog
oh,
shitting
here
on
it
it.
is. All right.
Yeah, I got a dog shitting on it. Yeah, that fits my bill.
All right. This is so elite.
Yeah.
Ho ho ho, you pussy ass bitch. Santa flipping me off at the card, and then the chopster.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, man.
And that's why Scott didn't get a card because they got curse words on him and stuff.
Yeah,
Scott,
fuck you,
missed
Scott.
out.
See,
You could have had.
sorry you won't have friendships like this, Scott.
Sorry,
Because
Yeah,
air
sorry,
freshener,
Scott.
Scott.
You're lost, bro.
Hey, just so you know, that scent. Literally, I wrote in somebody's card. I wrote the scent, but I got it wrong. I put something about sex, but the scent is literally butt naked. That's the name of the scent. That's why
you put sex in mine.
That's that what it is. It's actually
Yeah.
butt naked. I knew it had something to do with sex, but like
You said the scent is sex, and I was like, okay.
it's actually butt naked, which is kind of the same thing.
Yeah,
But
Derek's
you
was.
can pick your scent, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's fucking butt naked.
Yeah, I showed Derek's to Marissa last night because that was the first one I seen besides mine.
Did you see? Derek sent me his, and I was like, because Derek says his said something
here.
about
Got
fucking bucks. Oh yeah, I was gonna get you a card, but it was $5 fucking bucks, and I sent that one to Derek because I never thought of a guy that wanted something to do with fucking buck more than
He
Derek.
does love hunting. Like,
Does.
see, Chop personalizes everything.
Yeah, he does.
I
I
was
did.
like,
I laid out the cards, and I'm trying to figure like which one goes to who. You know what I mean?
What a guy, man. That's what I said. What a guy, man.
Yes.
No, it's
I
actually
showed my kids that. I showed Aurora, and I knew she didn't care, but I said, you got to explain this to Olivia, her girlfriend, you know. 'cause
Yes.
I was like, she'll care.
yes,
She'll get it.
that's my girl, Olivia.
Yeah. Shout out Olivia.
Yeah, shout out Olivia.
All right. We should end this one. 2-hour show. Didn't expect
I
it to
know.
be
I
a
gotta get
2-hour
shower. I got
show,
shit to
but
do.
There you go.
Oh.
man, look at Chop just trying to get out of here. He doesn't even care about us, Greg.
It's
All right.
black-
Love y'all. Appreciate y'all.
All right.
Who
Love
day?
you.
Y'all the best.
Hey,
We'll be back on
motherfucker.
Monday. Probably be a lot of Buckeye versus Notre Dame talk Monday.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Get
And
some
Chain Guy
Midwest
Foxy
barbecue
says,
for-
fuck you, Scott.
Yeah.
Get your
Oh,
Midwest
you
Best
can't
Barbecue
say
order.
fuck you, Scott, in a super chat.
Yeah.
But fuck
And
you,
get some-
Scott. Go ahead.
Get your Midwest Best Barbecue orders for Monday when Midwest Best. They're never open on Mondays. We're making an exception. Get your orders ready.
Shrimp and grits. Get me some of them, Greg. If I can't get up there, I need shrimp and grits. For
Foxy
$2.
also sent $2 for Scott.
Here's $2 for Scott. Yeah.
Thank you, Foxy.
Oh, you know.
The $2 is $1 for each letter. F-U.
Well, I was gonna close it, and then now I'm trying to. All right, yeah, still got BSG dancing on here, so I'm gonna give you guys Greg dancing 43 seconds of majestic dancing because you guys are so great.
Hell yeah.
As I end this one, so man, appreciate y'all. Who day? We'll be
Who
back
day.
on Monday.
Love
Hell,
y'all.
I might be back tonight. Honestly, I can talk somebody into coming out on tonight. I'm gonna talk college prospects tonight. Notre
Right.
Dame. Woo! Love you. Greg, I love you. You're an awesome dude, man. You're always here and you always support us. And I love putting your comments up. Jeff don't put your comments up. Jeff don't know what you're talking about. He don't get our relationship, Crip. but I do. And for that reason, you get BSG dancing.
Bengals and Brewers, the podcast crew. Yellow up an orange arrow, pork chop too. Greg Luther, Big Savage, Top Bud King, Yoshi Lava, they bring the zing. Cincinnati Bengals, the pride of the city. Join the fun with pork chop, Police Mayor. Listen in, laughter in.